Welcome into the Jordy Culotta Show. Wave your hand out there, baby!
Shout out to the show.
She puts the pinky into the nostril. Man, look at that.
Healthy competition, there's nothing like it.
Y'all grow up. The line's wrapped around the stadium. Different strengths. I just lost a tooth.
It's going to be fun.
You know, we might have a story.
I love what you're doing.
Ogeron wants to take us fishing this afternoon.
Sharif, you play for the bad boys of the SEC, man. We don't apologize to anybody.
But a lot of people are saying you're going to be wearing number 7.
I don't really know. I want to.
He look crazy, Bill. Good feet on the old man.
Definitely come back. I love.
We'll be right back with the Jordy Culotta Show. Welcome in to a Tuesday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Looking forward to this Tuesday edition. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button, as we'll be here with you until 9 a.m. this morning. Whoa.
Hey. Power hour.
Are you slapping me in the mouth?
All right, speaking of it, we're going to talk to Cody Worsham this morning at 7:45. The professor on his way to class, as he's got an 8:15 this morning.
Wait, he has
Yeah,
class today? Finals was last week.
Oh, really? Maybe not. Maybe
Oh, yeah,
he
he's
said he
not
had to go to
teaching.
some meeting.
Let's see, maybe Cody's trying
teacher's
to.
camp.
Yeah, we're going to
Maybe
call
he's
him out and see what's
proctoring
going on.
an
Yeah.
But
me
Cody
teach the
Worsham
class.
does a lot now at LSU. Like, talk about a position that has grown over the past couple of years. Worsham was just introduced, I think, initially as like head of digital content, like when they were still trying to figure out what digital content actually was. He was doing some podcasting. He was kind of going into some content creating. Now he's like assistant athletics director. He's on flights interviewing Brian Kelly. He's answering questions about
LSU
Title IX.
LSU Gold.
He's teaching classes. He's LSU Gold. He's everywhere, man. So we're going to talk to you about all of that coming up
God,
here
does he have
Makes us
time to
look-
talk to us?
at 7:45. No doubt.
Makes LSU look short-staffed.
Cody Worsham, the man of many hats. Over
You can
at
say
LSU,
no,
will be
Cody.
here. And then I think probably the highest compliment that you can give a prep prospect in any sport, the highest compliment, in my opinion, in this state is to call them the best athlete in the state of Louisiana. And I believe, I mean, I watched a lot of high school football and talked to a lot of coaches, and a lot of people say that this guy is different than just about everybody else. Keelan Moses, sophomore defensive end running back from University High, will be through here at 8 a.m. this morning, and looking forward to talking to him. I got a picture on my Instagram we got to pull up, Stewie. And this is like, you're going to have to fish here. You got to have to like scroll down. This is Dylan Moses going through the recruiting process what would have been, what was he? He was the number 1 recruit in the country in 16.
This
17?
is on your Instagram?
16.
16. He was the number 1 recruit. So this was when he was a sophomore, when he had just committed to LSU. So he was the same age as Keelan.
Aw.
And we brought him into the ESPN studio, and he brought Keelan with him. And we used to have a wind bar that hung over the studio entrance.
Yes, we did.
At the ESPN entrance down when it was in the closet.
Oh, we need one of those.
And Keelan Moses signed it, and Keelan signed it with him.
Oh, that's cute.
And they were, I mean, it would have probably been like a 3rd grader, 2nd grader's like handwriting.
Aw.
The perfect cursive.
I mean, it was
perfect
like,
cursive.
yes. And there's a younger brother after Keelan.
Good.
How old is
Because
the
We'll take him.
It's a
I don't know.
committable
We'll find
offer.
out. We'll find out.
Wow.
Maybe he's going to come in studio.
Miss Tamika is coming in with Keelan, and he's probably going to bring his younger brother with him. As they will be here at 7:45 this morning. What's the one?
You found it?
Oh, no, I'm just scrolling through Jordy's Instagram. It's just a bunch of vintage LSU pics.
Oh yeah, good seats
LSU
back in
Bama,
the day.
just
8 o'clock, right? They're coming at
sideline,
8?
you know.
Yeah,
chilling.
we're going to talk to him at 8 o'clock, and then Caskey's Clicker coming up here at 8:30. We will talk to Kyle Caskey this morning, and he will break down. He's going to break down some Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals as Burrow, crazy stat, gets their first win over Cleveland since he's been in the league. He's 3-0 versus Mahomes, and he's now 1-4 versus Cleveland, which is crazy. So make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button, as we appreciate you starting here. We're Tuesday here with us. As always, we're brought to you by Go Chevrolet. Check out the fleet of trucks over at Go Chevrolet right now. They can get you into a Sierra, a Silverado, half tons. They can get you into all of that, and you can shop all of the inventory, including the Tennessee lots, at GoChevrolet.com. GEAUX Chevrolet.com is where you can find them. Carpool Queen is here. Lloyd is here. And not a lot happening in the
I was
world.
thinking about that this
Kyler
morning.
Murray
I
tore
was
his
like,
ACL.
God, there's not
Sports.
a
That
lot
was tough to
going
watch.
on.
That was.
As
was
well,
hard to
and
watch.
There goes your
Joe Burrow was
fantasy
on the
football
he was on the
team.
Manning cast.
Well, yeah, there's NFL, there's NBA.
Yeah,
We're just
not too
gotten into
talkative,
it.
Burrow.
No, he wasn't.
Last night they were
What was
trying to
up?
kind of walk him. You could feel Eli was straining.
Yeah,
It's like, Joe, help me out, man. I'm trying to pitch you a just little softball
it
here.
could have been better.
Well, he doesn't talk like
I know.
that.
Joe's
He's
not a
very
big media.
secretive.
He's
He
gotten
is.
he has gotten to that level of quarterback and fame that he feels like he's almost
untouchable.
untouchable.
But on the Manning cast, you got to talk. You got to like.
I
Interact
think that's
and
where
be
you build
funny.
that brand more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, where is there a bigger stage in football than the Manning
Yeah.
cast?
Yeah.
And if you're going to be who you want the world to perceive you to be,
Quiet.
then go for 12 minutes
Assassin.
Yeah.
Is it
on
this
that
one?
Manning cast.
Yeah.
That's it, Coach. That is it. That is it. Look at Dylan Moses. Bring it up. Can you bring that one up?
That's just for us. Oh, old studio. The dungeon.
That's cool.
They used to
Young
lock
Dylan
me in
Moses.
there for 8 hours at a time.
So where's that wind bar? You said it's in the closet?
No, it'd be
It's
like
right
on the
above the
door.
wall.
like
I
when
thought
you
you said they
walked
put
in
it
there.
away somewhere.
Oh,
So
it's
still
somewhere there. It's somewhere there.
I feel like that should be
should go
yours.
see
Big
it.
old Les
Rightfully
Miles
yours.
signature on there. Like
Huge,
it's-
huge Tim Tebow.
Oh,
Really?
yes.
Yeah, we had Tebow at SEC Media Day.
We should go
Wow.
steal it.
I still have my
We
key
should go
card.
steal it. You do?
I mean,
Uh-huh.
I could make one more
I
run
don't
through
think you
there.
could get in there, dude.
I could not, but I need to make one more. I left some things in there for
It's
sure.
like a bad breakout.
Yeah, a whole bunch of
Y'all left
helmets.
some
Those
stuff
helmets,
here.
I need
dude.
my Mud Dogs helmet.
Golly, the Mud Dogs and the Tulane and the Saints was addressed to me.
Where did
Chris,
you get those things?
tell him, Chris.
That's
Are
where
you
the album
talking about the Saints that's on the desk?
The legit.
it's set.
I mean, that is a legit Saints and the UL helmet. Napier sent that to us.
I own the
Belong
set.
to you.
Guy owns the set.
Let's all go today as a group.
Yeah, let's do it.
Y'all go.
Happy holidays.
Tell him I come in
Beat
spirit.
on the door.
Yes.
Come with a pitchfork.
Yeah, right.
The ghost of Jordy's past.
They're gonna be like, all your stuff's out there in a box. to the
Kelly
left.
and I were sitting at the bar at Bistro by Roan's, and the lady that fired me, Faye, walked up behind us. First time I had seen her in like 2 years.
I'll walk-
Yesterday?
2 weekends ago.
Oh God.
Fang
I've
still
been talking
hanging.
about
thought Halloween
you
was
quit.
over.
Blood still dripping out of her butt. How are you?
That's a penalty. Yeah.
You win. Jeez.
They have a special on fava beans.
That's right. But looking forward to our conversation with Keelan Moses coming up here at 8 a.m.
This will be all over Tiger.
What did he learn? Yeah. What did he learn from going through Dylan Moses' recruiting, right? I mean, what did that do for him? We'll ask him about that coming up here. Some news yesterday out of LSU. Jordy Jenkins going to the league. Not too surprising.
Not really.
No, he's been. I mean, it would have been his sixth year. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna get drafted. You know,
I think so too.
And he'll be like a 4th, 5th round. He's gonna make a team. Like he did exactly what he needed to do in terms of what LSU provided him. It was one of those where, who's my guy that left early, made the diving catch, and we're like, we never saw him, and then he made it in the league.
James Wright.
Yes, it's kind of like that, but he actually got to play a little bit more.
Yeah.
To where it's like, okay, you saw his talent, but or like Cajun Boone, where it's like he flashed every time you saw him, and then he was gone.
Racy McMath.
Yes, and not probably not that athletic, but in that same vein, I would say he got to like stick around a little bit longer. You know, he did it the right way.
I think out of
You
that,
got all you could from Jordy Jenkins.
I think out of that bunch, Jordy Jenkins is probably the better wide receiver. I mean, he's the better receiver.
the most polished.
He,
Yeah, out of the names you just named.
Yeah.
I mean, looking up 4 or 5 games in and still seeing him on the field, I will admit, was a surprise to me. Now, after that, I expected him to make the plays, and he did. But, I mean, think back. He's been making plays on this team since game 1.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been catching touchdowns
2
since
touchdowns
Florida
against
State.
Florida State.
Clutchest player on the team.
Absolutely, he was.
Texas
And I think
A&M.
probably will go down as one of the most undervalued LSU players that we thought of, like in the current state. Russell Gage.
Yeah.
Was
That's the better way to put it. That's what I was trying to say.
Like,
where
I
you
mean,
just
you
had
couldn't
to,
even
every
put
time
a
you look up,
value-
he's there.
Every time you looked around, he was making plays. I mean, you never. I mean, we live in a very critical world, right? I mean, more people want to criticize than they want to compliment, right? I mean, rarely do you get somebody that speaks up and says he's doing a great job.
So
I
true.
mean, everybody's always saying he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Get him
you
outta
could never
here.
say that about Gage. You could never really say that about Jordy Jenkins. I mean, not even really this year. Every time he got an opportunity, he made the most of it. You know, I think he is probably a great example in a transfer portal age of what happens if you stick it out.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like it has probably been his dream. He comes from Gina, Louisiana.
I was just gonna ask, where did he start?
Right? So he's a Louisiana kid.
What school is that?
Gina, is that
Gina?
Is that Gina High School?
Yeah, Gina High
I
School.
mean,
Where
that
is
is
that?
hey, look, man, that's
That is
a rough part of the
Is
state.
that
was
like
to say.
Bayou or like North?
It's like west. It's like Lake Charles
Okay.
area, kind of.
It's country though.
Yeah. And they, look, man, they've gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
In that part of the state.
Yeah.
Riots, fights, crazy.
And it was
type
all.
stuff.
It was
And
part
probably during his time.
That's what I was
Yeah,
going to
like,
say.
I mean,
as
if
a
he's a
kid.
6-year kid, he was
Yeah.
probably there during the teeth of a lot of it.
It's up in my neck of the woods.
But so it's not Lake Charles?
No, it's like right next to Rapides Parish, like little hop skip.
Okay, I messed that up. I screwed that up.
It's okay. Alexandria's going to be okay. They'll be fine.
But I mean,
So he
somebody
came
that
straight to LSU from there. Okay.
somebody that Louisiana kid came to LSU, probably grew up dreaming of doing that, and in my opinion will go down as one of the most undervalued LSU players that really meant to the program.
Yeah.
I mean, take Jordy Jenkins off this team.
Don't want to.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's where I think you get in the conversation with when Kayshawn announced to come back, that you thought maybe are they all going to run it back? Like, is Jordy going to come back? Is BJ going to come back? And you see it kind of go the other way. But there was a sliver of time where you thought, oh, everybody wants to be back, but maybe it's more of Kayshawn knowing who's leaving and who's going. He's like, well, if Jordy's going, I'll stay. That's just
staying.
more targets for him, like. Because if you're Kayshawn, you need the opportunity again. Like, you need the opportunity to get more balls. And Jordy, just Mr. Consistent. So for him to, the lion's share of those catches have to go to somewhere. For Kayshawn, it's like, okay, I'm starting to see how this room's shaking out. Besh is gone. Jordy's gone. I'll come back
No,
and
absolutely.
be a first rounder.
Yeah, and look, I think Jeray Jenkins probably looks at the room coming in. It's probably like, I got a better shot at getting more catches in the league than I do at LSU next season. I mean, there is no margin for error next year in the LSU wide receiver room. I mean, like, I'm not talking about, like, injuries. I'm talking about drops. You know what I mean? Drops in practice will be literally next man up, and you could lose your spot. If you're hurt, you're done. You better hope you hadn't played enough games where you can still redshirt. Because the wide receiver next spot at LSU is as packed with talent as I have ever seen it. I mean, like, I have never seen going in as much. And think about that. Like, I mean, I don't know if LSU even knew what they had in Justin Jefferson going into 2019. That he was going to be that good. And, I mean, obviously that wide receiver room turned out to be maybe the greatest of all time in the program history. Odell, Jarvis. I mean, there have been some errors of wide receiver, but going into the season, the depth, the amount of guys, and then you look up and Aaron Anderson, the number one wide receiver in a class where LSU was just swinging and missing on Kendrick Law and Shaz Preston and Aaron Anderson, a one-time LSU commit, now in the portal.
Come home.
Who, if you
Electric.
turn on the film, man, he's that dude that LSU doesn't have. Like, LSU's got a lot. LSU's got game breakers. They got red zone threats. They got guys. Even, Malik has a small potential chance of being that type of player where he can catch it, put a foot in the ground, make somebody miss, and get to the house. But Aaron Anderson feels like kind of like Reggie Bush. And that is a steep comparison. And I'm not but he's just electric where when he touches it, it feels like it could be 6 at any point. And I know he was injured last year in Alabama, and Alabama was down at wide receiver. And they were looking for playmakers. But he couldn't get and break in there even when he was healthy. I understand that there may be concern around the injury, but if you turn on his film in high school, in his early days in Alabama, man, he's a game breaker. You know what I mean? He is a absolute change the scoreboard in one play, one catch, one opportunity, and he's to the house quick. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. We mentioned the Denver Harris stuff yesterday. I anticipate that meeting to happen tomorrow when we talked about kind of late this week that meeting going down between Brian Kelly and the Harris family. That'll actually go down here Wednesday on campus. So I think we'll find out something pretty quick. And whether it's kind of a thumbs up, thumbs down on Denver Harris, I think we'll know because as soon as the green light is given by LSU, if it is given by LSU, Denver Harris he'll be here. Now you think of the potential, and this is all just potential right now, of a defensive back room in 1 year going from what they had last year at this time, where they were scouring the transfer portal, scouring the recruiting field late into the process with a new head coach, to the potential of bringing in Denver Harris, Desmond Ricks, and Javian Taviano in one swipe, what that would look like in 1 year in the difference in that DB room. I mean, that would be from that would be from the outhouse to the penthouse in just name, depth, and capability. I mean, Mekhi Gardner came in, and for my for my thought, I thought he probably overexceeded my expectation. A transfer from Louisiana to withstand like he did that schedule and improve. Remember, we talked about the Florida State game with Jeray Jenkins. Mekhi Gardner looked a little lost in that Florida State game. Think how much better he got every single week. Enough improvement to give himself an opportunity to go to the NFL. But, I mean, think about what the potential you would look like with Desmond Ricks and Denver Harris as your starting cornerbacks come SEC play next year. I mean, like, sign me up. You know, people have been asking where DBU go. DBU's been missing, but it could be right back if that's what the class looks like.
Well, the crazy thing is, does it feel like you kind of have to get all of them? Don't you feel like you need Toviano?
I think they're the leader for all of them.
No, but you if you miss on one of the three, it still feels like you're a little short in the room. But if you get all three, like you don't want to go. It's not a perfect scenario to go out there and start. Like if you're able to get Ricks and Toviano, that's not ideal to have two true freshmen on the outside. Like obviously you saw how the offensive line worked out with Will Campbell, Emory Jones. It can be done different positions, But I'm saying you don't want to put those guys on an island as true freshmen. Like you have to play. If you get Denver Harris, that just kind of shifts the whole. It takes a lot of pressure off those guys if they still want to come. And it's like, all right, now you can kind of work yourself in as opposed to, hey, look, we need you to come in and play immediately. Yeah. First game, Florida State.
Cordell Music says, don't forget about Ashton Stamps. Yeah, you're right.
Rummel Dog.
Defensive back out of Rummel, picked up an offer last summer and really, earned it. He worked out and was a late offer for this group and jumped on it. And it's a defensive back class that could be really special. I mean, really, really special. And I think you'll learn a lot about it this week. I think, Taviano's expected to announce maybe as early as tomorrow night. You have National Signing Day, early signing period next week, so you can learn something on Desmond Ricks. And then, of course, you have Denver Harris, who's set to be in Baton Rouge over the next 24 hours with a decision made on whether or not he's going to be a take for LSU. So it's going to be fun to watch this part of the process shake out. Remember, each Wednesday, Shea Dixon is in here talking about recruiting. The Power Hour with Shea Dixon, and don't let that be confused for other programs that are out there. I've had just a couple of phone calls, and look, man, I respect and love what Carter the Power has going on. That guy is killing it and crushing it as far as content goes, and I don't want there to be crossover on some name stuff. And we took Power Hour from Ed Ogeron's Power Hour that he would do each day inside of the office where they would, call recruits, and he would call it Power Hour. And we're just doing, a recruiting show and segment with Shea Dixon that we're calling Recruiting Power Hour with Shea Dixon. So I don't want there to be confusion, and I don't want there to be crossover, and I don't want there to be confusion on the affiliation. And I also want it to be known that we have a ton of respect for what Carter has going on because he is doing a great job of building that brand, and I don't want there to be any crossover or imprint on that. So,
however, if he comes after our Limitless content, we will have a problem.
Right.
Or the what?
Limitless. We talked about the movie Limitless for like 15 minutes before the Power Hour, just to get everybody. We like to let the people gather. Yeah, so I'm saying that the content's a little different. Like Carter the Power is doing more like all 22 stuff, film breakdown. I don't think you're going to see Shea on the whiteboard.
Whoever is saying that Denver Harris is going to Colorado is completely wrong.
Why are people saying that?
I guess because
Denver,
Deion
Colorado.
Sanders there. And,
that's why. Oh.
No, I think that Deion's doing a great job right now inside the portal. I think, like we can get back to it, but I think that the SEC West, the SEC, LSU, if you're a rival of Auburn, dodged an enormous bullet by Deion Sanders going to Colorado and Hugh Freeze being the head coach at Auburn. Hugh's going to do a nice job, but Deion's about to clean up. I mean, like if you're paying attention, I'm watching all of his social media, and people may think it's too much in your face or it's too brash. Think what you want. What it does hit with is kids 18 to 22 years old, and everybody wants to be there.
I ain't hard to find.
And it is going to be a football factory in a year. You can put your money on that. So wherever he would have landed, wherever he lands next, whatever he does at Colorado to make the next person look up and say, I want that, whether it's, Mississippi State or whether it's the Dallas Cowboys,
That's
whoever
quite
it
a
is.
take.
I don't know who it is. If I was Mississippi State, I would sprint to Colorado and hire him. And I don't mean any disrespect to Mike Leach. And again, our thoughts and our prayers are with Mike Leach. I'm just talking about big time jobs that are open, that could be open. If I'm Auburn, if I'm a booster, I'm breaking pencils somewhere behind the scenes thinking we should have took a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You should have took a chance, because if what you're missing is players, what you would have had overnight would have been an NFL roster. Because I think that Deion's probably a polarizing figure in college football. You either are with it or you're not. You either love it or you hate it. I love it.
I mean, you automatically get a quarterback and a cornerback.
And that won't last forever, right? Like at some point his kids will run out of eligibility, but he'll still be a great recruiter and a great coach.
Still got Travis Hunter.
He's still got players like Hunter coming in. And he'll still have players like Trey Sanders, the 5-star running back from Alabama that just transferred in to Colorado, coming in. And it doesn't matter where he's at, whether it's Jackson, Mississippi, or Boulder, Colorado, or Auburn, Alabama, wherever he is.
Well, why didn't somebody snatch him up in the SEC?
Because I'm sure that they had some booster upstairs that was scared to death of what it would have looked like.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just the real part of it. And whoever was nervous about it said, let's just go with Hugh Freeze because he makes us feel secure.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
While Deion's just in your face on social media, this guy's chasing hookers, so let's give him the money. I mean, yeah, but some guy in a suit feels more comfortable
Right.
about the way that Hugh walks the sidelines than Deion does with a towel around his neck. I mean, it's just, that's the real conversations that are happening away from us that people don't want to tell you in the public, that are the real reason why he's not at an SEC school, is because there was too much money somewhere that was scared of what he was going to bring.
Yeah.
And good for Colorado for saying bring him in.
For sure.
Because what they're going to benefit from that is their football program is going to explode. And if you look at the football programs that have exploded that the cities have followed suit by, they've all paid off. It's all been an advantage to everybody that supports it. Right? I mean, I know that I caught flack for our Tuscaloosa rant, but the reason why Tuscaloosa has been upgraded the way it has in the last 10 years is only because of the football
100%.
program. It's because of what the football program has brought that town, the attention, the notoriety, the influx of students. That all goes into new construction, new money, new building that attracts new people, new opportunities.
Right.
So, I that's what I believe is about to happen at Boulder, Colorado. I would tell you to watch the social media, because it's first off, it's fantastically done in a content creating world that we live in, that we understand, that we view, and look forward to watching and see how people do it. They're on the cutting edge of what they have going on and how they're presenting it and how it hits with their demographic. It may not hit you the way that you want to watch it, but what it hits is the people that they're going after, the recruits. They're gobbling it up. I mean, look at the numbers that these things are doing. It's hundreds of thousands of views. Well, what's that mean? It means that people are talking about it. They're buzzing about it. They're wondering what's going on there. They're curious about what's happening there. Things that they're not doing about Auburn right now. Things that every time you scroll through your timeline, every time you update your feed on ESPN, all I see is Colorado stuff.
That's true.
Every time I swipe through my news feed, and I don't have to be specifically looking for Deion content, but I get Deion content. You know who's making sure that happens? Deion. And I mean, it's an in-your-face world, college football. I mean, look how active Brian Kelly is on social media. I guarantee you 5 years ago, you would have said, Brian Kelly, you're going to have an Instagram account in 5 years. You'd have been like, get the hell out of my office. And you're fired.
Get on that.
You're fired.
Brian Kelly to the stage.
And now he's posting stuff on Instagram. I mean, he's not, but somebody is under his name.
Right.
But that's what the world is. And Deion has embraced that. And he knows that his demographic, his clientele, his people that he counts on to make sure his operation works can relate to him, can touch him, can talk to him, can ask him questions, can reach out and touch him if he needs to. All of that stuff that matters to those people, Deion knows how to play the game. And he's playing it better than everybody else out there.
Ain't hard to find.
I mean, he is in like right now in a social media world, everybody's trying to chase TikTok and what they're doing. Like they're saying like the time spent on app is what everybody is looking for in the advertising world to spend just a gargantuan amount of money on.
How depressed
And
are
a
you?
good time spent on app is like 3 minutes. Instagram's average time spent on app is like 3.5 minutes. TikTok's is 11. You know what I mean? They're just lapping the field. You got people like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and I mean like some of the smartest people in the world. What do we do? I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to do this. I mean, that's what Deion is in a social media world compared to everybody else. I mean, it's him over here and everybody else kind of over there. And the only people that care about who's doing it right are the people that matter in that world. So everybody that's available is going to pay attention, but one person that's not is Denver Harris. So whoever's putting it out there that Denver Harris is going to Colorado, you're dead wrong. You're dead wrong. If LSU gives Denver Harris the thumbs up tomorrow, the deal's done. It's over. It's over. So, I mean, you can put that on any message board. You can take that to any lunch table. You can tell anybody you want. But tomorrow is D-Day for Denver Harris
It's definitely going on Tiger Droppings
at
right
LSU.
Deion Day.
Jordy Culotta just said Denver Harris
That is
is not
exactly
going to
what's happening.
Colorado.
He's not.
He's
But
going to
Someone's
LSU.
typing that out right now.
Good.
But to your point, there's tangible evidence to what Deion has been able to do at Colorado since hiring Deion Sanders. This is from Outkick. Since hiring Deion Sanders, Colorado had its highest day of online merchandise sales at $50,000 and gained nearly 175 social media
I
followers.
saw that.
That's
wild.
what he does.
Jeremy Lane, you're wrong. 3 years from now, they will be firing Deion. Jeremy, I'll take that bet. And I'll put any amount of money that you want to put on it or any wager that you want that Deion is going to be fired at
He
his
might
job.
leave.
He's going to elevate
Yeah.
from that position.
Elevate, elevate, elevate.
He will be promoted from somewhere, whether it's within college football or I see a day where Prime is coaching the NFL. Like Deion Sanders is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys makes so much sense to me in the NFL world now where you've got 30-year-olds coaching NFL franchises, where you've got people that are thinking outside of the box on personalities and people on who they're bringing in to run their organizations, on what they're doing. And people think that Deion Sanders, having the success he's having in coaching football, coaching an NFL team is far-fetched. I could see him coaching the Cowboys in 3 years, 2 years, or someone like that just looks at him and say, hey, man, at what point do you just say everywhere he's been successful? If he goes to Colorado and wins, he doesn't make it to a third year. Did he say 3 years at Jackson State?
Yeah.
He said 3 years at Jackson State. If he wins, or if you can see the program changing direction next year, which you will, because they've already elevated the coaching, they're going to elevate the personnel. You know, when they put it out on the field, it's going to look a lot better than it has been over the last, decade. So the people there are going to embrace it. It's going to have this momentum that's rolling into year two. And by year two, who knows what his roster could look like? And people saying that it takes time to build a roster, we live in Baton Rouge. How can you say that? LSU had 38 players a year ago. They got the SEC Western Division champs in December. That doesn't happen just because of coaching and facilities. You got to go get players. LSU was able to build a roster in just a short amount of time that was championship contending in the SEC. If you give Deion Sanders a year to build a roster in a transfer portal world and the way that he's shown that he can recruit, hell, man, Colorado could be a top 10 team. I mean, just on paper.
Well, especially with the expanded playoff, and you don't think that makes a difference in terms of when you talk about building a brand? Deion's going to be able to elevate it to that point to where it's, all right, what are there, 12 spots in the expanded playoff? He's in the Pac-12.
Pac-12 is wide open, coach.
Wide open. So if he's in the conversation, they're good. You don't think it ain't gonna look like Nick Saban begging for help. It's gonna look a lot different when Deion has to go to the podium and slam the table for the Buffs. He might ride that goddamn Buffalo into the college football playoff.
He could.
But they run a Buffalo out before every
I'm
game.
laughing.
I mean, that's the thing about
gets loose is
Colorado.
over, Coach.
They're kind of like a little bit of a West Coast, like sleeping giant.
Sleepy,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Kind of like a sleepy school that you can start getting people at. I mean, that's the key to it.
Yeah.
It's just players. I mean, like, you got to be able to coach them once they get there, for sure. But, I mean, Deion knows and understands how to relate to these people so much that it's almost unfair in recruiting against him. You know what I mean? Like, when he walks in the room, there's just this, I mean,
Aura.
if you've seen the relationship he has with Travis Hunter, it was never even close where he was going. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that, like, Norvell and Florida State thought they had a shot was kind of funny. I mean, after watching this social media, I mean, he's like his dad. He really is. And I don't mean any disrespect to Travis Hunter's dad. I mean, I'm sure if they have a relationship, it's great. But him and Deion share a relationship in recruiting that you would look at and say, that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like, if you looked at Joe Sloan and say, hey, Joe, would you like to build a recruiting rapport with a quarterback prospect that you have? Absolute. That looks like Deion and Travis Hunter. You know what I mean? Where Travis Hunter's like, Deion, I'm not going anywhere else. Like, I'll follow you to Colorado, man. It doesn't matter where. I mean, Travis Hunter's from Florida. You know what I mean? 3 years ago, Georgia. If you'd have told Travis Hunter 3 years ago, you'll be living in Boulder, Colorado in 2 years, son, he'd have probably said, get the F out of my room. You know what I mean? Like, are you crazy?
He
Ain't no
was
chance.
committed for 2 years to Florida State. And
Right.
then Deion gets a job, and he's the one that is able to ultimately flip him. And Deion has said it himself. He's like, I don't compliment DBs very often. Like, because I did it probably at the highest level of anybody ever. He goes, Travis Hunter is one of those guys. Like, I feel comfortable talking about him in that light in terms of he's one of the best players in the country. He's like,
Yeah.
And it's coming from Prime.
Yeah, well, he said he's better than me.
Yeah, and he's like,
I mean, you know what
and-
it takes to say that?
And he's doing what, like, they see a lot of themselves in each other. Like, he's playing
Yeah.
offense and defense. And
Right.
if you're Travis Hunter, you're like,
And this
This
is where
is
you
the guy
can
I
really
want.
see where
Yeah.
he can use him. You know,
Oh
like
my
you
God.
know what I mean? Like, how's he going to use him against SC? You know, like, how's he going to use him against?
It'd be like a Dory Jackson back in the day.
I mean, you know, he's getting
Worse, though.
head coaches to leave stations to come be offensive
he poached from
coordinators.
LSU already.
He got LSU's player personnel. Who
Corey
I mean,
Phillips.
It's it'll be fun to watch, man. It'll be fun to watch.
Ain't hard to find.
Remember, Daily, we are brought to you by RMB Builders, our friends over at RMB, Rhett Bourgeois and his crew. RMB-builders.com is where you can find them online. You can also check out their Instagram where they've got great projects working right now, all the projects that you can find out, whether it's construction in neighborhoods, whether it is new construction projects, whether it's renovations that Katie has going on.
Yeah, I'm getting close. Getting close.
And you can see all of that on Instagram.
Say it again.
RMB-Builders.
Close.
All right, we will talk to
Okay.
You gotta get a break.
we
Gotta
will
take a
talk
break.
to Cody Worsham coming up here, and we're going to talk to Cody all about what's going on campus, basketball, both men and women's. We'll talk to him a little bit about LSU Gold, and we'll also talk to him about year one
Give me
here
your
LSU
password.
football, going into the
have
bowl
an account.
season, into the recruiting season. And what's his official title at LSU? I'm sure there is one. We'll find out what it is next. Coming up here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button, and we'll be right back here, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression, anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health, over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz. I was embarrassed about my smile. Are you unhappy at yours? Do you not smile back at yourself? I called my friend, Dr. Spillers, over at Johnson Spillers. He fixed my smile, and now everywhere I go, people are complimenting it after the work that Dr. Spillers and the staff did to my mouth. They can do it to yours. Get in touch with them. JohnsonSpillers.com. 2 locations, one in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easy to find them, JohnsonSpillers.com.
Hi, this is Dan Canterbury. Join myself and the legend, Coach Skip Burtman, for Hold the Rope Tuesday nights on YouTube. You can go to @HoldTheRope, Skip and Cano. Skip, tell them what we do.
We've got a lot of education. We've got some people that can tell you a lot about a lot of things. In the area of sports, we have a lot of entertainment. We got a lot of energy putting this in. I think you'll like it.
So join us for Hold the Rope.
Let's go here. Ralph Williams from the chat. Deion is going to flop. Great players have never made good coaches. You're such a front runner, Jordy. Thank you for listening, Ralph. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button. No way Prime will coach in the NFL. Straight from his mouth. I know he said he would never leave. He would never coach in the NFL. Didn't he say he would never leave Jackson State at some point too when he got there?
Is Mike Vrabel a bad coach?
I love Deion. He will be successful at Colorado, but not in year one. It will take 3. I didn't say he'd be winning the Rose Bowl next season. I'd say you'd start to see the momentum kind of shifting towards where he wanted to go, where you'd start to see the program changing. And one of the most misconceptions, misconceived things I've read, or it looks like is out there about Deion, is that he's like a bad football coach. I think if he gives you, see what to me Deion allows is for people like that, for critics like that, he gives you the content. He allows you to see his coaching style. And if you disagree with that type of coaching method, what do you think good coaching is? I mean, he's keeping people accountable. He's running a disciplined, a legitimate scheme that he believes is going to make him and his team, give them the best chance to win. And if you watch the content that he puts out, you can see all of that on display. You know, it's kind of like Brian Kelly did to the media and did to the public in the start of the season when we were talking about there's a quarterback controversy. You'll never know who's going to be the better quarterback. Kelly said, all right, well, then here, I'll open it up to y'all. Y'all can stay the whole practice if y'all want. Keep your cameras running. Put it on the news. Put it on your shows. Let everybody see it. Put it on social media. Let everybody see what the competition at quarterback looks like. We got nothing to hide here. And that's the thing about Deion that kind of smokes out all the criticism. I'm not saying that he's going to, win national championships because of it, but I do believe that the content does allow you to see that guy's a really good coach, man. I mean, like beyond all the stuff that may piss people off or may make people fall in love, whatever that, that style that you fall into, beyond all that stuff. He's a good football. I don't think you do what Jackson State is doing because of an accident. I mean, like, you just can't fall backwards into doing that. You have to have some type of plan and discipline and accountability within that comes down to coaching. Somebody has to be instilling that and putting that on and into execution. And how can we really say that Deion doesn't?
And don't get it twisted that he won't have some sort of Hard Knocks or some sort of in-season show like he did at Jackson State with Barstool Sports, where
it's already there.
It's going to be it's going to be content making content. Like, it's going to be something that people are going to check out because, like, if you watch any of the Jacksonville State stuff that they did, or J-State, sorry, that they did, like, he was followed around with the camera 24/7, and he's like, I'm totally comfortable with this. Like, they were making a Hard Knock style thing at a school where they had no business being on TV.
Ralph Williams, Jackson State, Jordy, there's no competition there. That's not a good example. He is closer to O as a coach. Ralph, Deion would coach the pants off of Ed Ogeron. Really? I mean, think about what you're talking about. And it doesn't come down to the Jackson State competition. He still had to turn the program into a winner. The coach's responsibility, in my view, is when you get the job, you better leave it better than you found it. Can we argue that Ogeron left the program better than he found it? Did he experience highs that the program hasn't under his reign? No, but did he leave it better than he found it? Might have left it worse than he found it. Talk about when Les Miles was giving it up, right? When Jackson State's next head coach takes over their program and looks around and sees facilities, equipment, contracts with television and streaming companies and personnel put in place. Now, what Jackson State does with that now is on them, but that was all instilled and put in place by Deion Sanders. That doesn't come down to if the competition is good or not. It means the guy's got a plan, comes in, he puts that plan into place, the plan works out and looks up, and you're a undefeated SWAC champ. Doesn't matter if you're in the SWAC, the SEC, or the Pac-12, or the NFC East. Do you have a plan that people are buying into, and they believe, and then they go out and they play, and once you play, you're the dominant team. Doesn't matter what the competition looks like. To me, that's what it is.
Let's just wait and see.
Well, yeah, obviously,
right?
but
It's all going to play out.
Even if he doesn't win in this first year, he's already won. Colorado's already won.
Yeah, right, no doubt.
Like, you can't argue that.
Do we have Cody?
they're
We
interesting
spent
again.
so much time talking about Deion this morning.
I
It's
know.
unbelievable.
Well, yeah, it's because
There's nothing else
it feels
to talk
like
about.
it feels like the SEC dodged a bullet by
Well-
him not going to Auburn.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Denver Harris is not going to Colorado. By the way, I mean,
That's all ties
that's how we
together.
that's how we got there. Katie, tell them about Dead Soxy.
Y'all, Dead Soxy has a crazy, huge holiday giveaway right now.
Halloween?
You can enter to win over $700 of their premium socks plus a $300 gift card and then this cool briefcase. They're going to have 10 lucky winners. You go to deadsoxy.com, deadsoxy.com/sweep to enter the giveaway between now and December 16th. You have the grand prize in your hand before Christmas if you are a winner. So you can keep them for yourself or give them away. This is a crazy, it's like $1,000 in socks. It's a crazy, crazy giveaway. You can boost your entry if you retweet it or repost it. Go to deadsoxy, soxy.com/sweeps to enter the giveaway. And that will be on our social media in the next day or so too. So you can enter there to win as well.
All right, Dead Soxy, as always, a proud supporter here of the Jordy Culotta Show. We're still waiting on Cody Worsham to.
You have his email? You want me to send him an email? His email wasn't in the doc.
I screwed that up, I guess.
So he's never going to be in there.
It's probably what.
Something worship
Let me-
at
It's
LSU.edu.
Yeah, it's gotta be at LSU.edu.
At LSU.edu.
Something worship.
I was L Court 4 at
Let me hit the
LSU.edu.
LSU search real quick.
Yeah. I'm sure he has a personal, but you could definitely hit the school account.
The school account always hits.
Give me the LSU.
I'm rescheduling.
Dude,
I'm
we could
rescheduling.
probably.
Oh, no.
I wonder if we could.
We don't have enough time
He's
now.
so busy, too.
Well, he's not teaching, is he?
We don't know what he's doing.
I'd like to teach a class at LSU.
I would love it if you taught a class at LSU.
You should go teach a class at
Please
LSU.
teach a class at
I'll
LSU.
proctor.
What would it be?
What wouldn't it be?
What would it be, for real?
What
What
was that class that
Everybody get up and leave because this is all bullshit.
No, you're smart.
What was that
and you have
class
your
that Matthew
master's. What would it be?
McConaughey taught at Texas? Like something
Culture.
Oh, dude, I'd be the minister of culture at
minister
LSU.
of
Yeah,
culture?
you could be the minister of
I
culture.
mean,
at
you would
LSU.
fit that perfect.
Wait,
Yeah.
Minister of Culture?
Yeah, that's
That's
what,
not a thing.
That's what
That's what McConaughey is.
McConaughey was at Texas.
The Minister of Culture?
The minister
That
of
was
culture.
his official title?
And I stay
Yeah.
the
I
same
don't
age.
recall that. They keep getting younger?
I stay the same age. Be a lot cooler.
Let me tell you what Melba Toast is packing.
Be a lot cooler if you did.
What a great movie. All right, we're going to talk.
Great party.
We're going to, yes, killer party.
Yes, I know. We'd
Kegger.
like to recreate that party.
That's the old school. Just we're going to the woods.
That's
like
what
when
we
we were
used to
talking
do.
about going
Yeah.
in. Yeah, we were.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, we were talking about
That's all
going to
we
like
had.
unbuilt houses. You were
Yes.
going into little people's
You
houses.
know where we would party when we were in high school is where those crosses are now on Segan Lane.
No way.
Yes, my buddy Michael Piku owned a piece of property right there. And when we first got our license, we had no idea where we were going to go drink this pint of vodka, where we were going to drink this party ball.
I did it.
Where we were going to try and roll this joint.
Right.
Where we were going to do all of this stuff at,
the
so
grass.
young, where we were going to try and make out with
Not
these
at home.
girls. Right. I mean, like, Piku, where are we going to go? He's like, well, I mean, my parents have this property off of Segan Lane.
What's on
the-
it? Nothing.
Off of,
That's
yeah,
why they have
nothing.
crosses
And
there
there was
now.
there was a red gate that used to swing back, and you would drive back there, and you were in nothing but the woods, and it just kind of opened up. And one night we had a bonfire moving there that the interstate kind of saw the flames coming over. How about that?
What do you think about that?
Ass and
Yeah, right.
Let me see them
And
ankles.
Piku's parents came and busted us on that. All right, Keelan Moses, the top athlete in the state of Louisiana,
verified.
has walked into this studio, and we are going to talk to him about recruiting, about his sophomore season, what he anticipates the next couple of seasons to be like. His brother experienced incredible fame on the college football level, spent some time with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but at one point was the #1 recruit in the country. His little brother had a front row seat of that. What was that like? Keelan Moses next here on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
ESPN the magazine.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date, and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O-Shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at JordyCulottaShow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Play it during the football game.
Boosie, I want Webby,
Right.
I want NBA Youngboy. Play the people that are from the city.
Right.
I mean, play the people that are
Give me that
from
neck.
Louisiana. Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the best part about the Dome, really, is that they embrace New Orleans. And look what happens. I mean, you got Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara dancing on the sidelines with one another, and you show it to the stand, you show it to the in-game crowd, and people lose their mind. I mean, they want to blow the roof off the Dome when they play that stuff.
Yeah, they do.
And they're playing well. You know what I mean? Like, it makes so much sense to play that entire stadium. I mean, play the Louisiana artists in Tiger Stadium. Made it fun.
I don't know. I think just the fact that we knew we were going to get them. Like,
that is fun.
Yeah. I've always been able to recruit players. I've always been able to get players. You talked about SMU. We signed the highest rated recruiting class in program history last year. Wow. In the only year that I was there. At Vanderbilt, we signed 4 top 100 kids, and we finished last in the SEC, for 2 years leading up to that. So recruiting players, that's never been an issue. It's always been, I always wanted to recruit the top end players. Yeah. And here I get a chance to do that. Anytime you work for Kim Mulkey, you're going to be able to recruit the top players in the nation.
I'm not sitting here today thinking that they got an impossible shot.
Yeah,
do they have an unlikely and difficult road to get there? Yes. But one thing that we can all confirm about that committee, about the playoff committee, I've got no idea what they're talking about. I got no idea what the prerequisites are. I've got no idea what they need to see to put you in the field. I can guarantee all of them love Bama. Yeah. They all freak out over Alabama because they correlate Alabama to television ratings. Mm-hmm. They think in that room that if it comes close and it gets close, we might as well just put them in because everybody's going to watch.
It is going to be close.
And that's the difficulty here of running this thing with human beings making the decisions, because at the end of it, it's all going to come back to the money, the advertising dollar, and how they can get the most of it. And they know a field that features Alabama is a more popular field than any other one that does not include them that exists, right? Like, you can make the 4th team Ohio State. You can make the 4th team Tennessee. You can make the 4th team whoever the hell you want to make it. If it's not Bama, the suits don't feel like the college football mass crowd, the most college football crowd will show up. And that's ultimately what they care about. Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. There is no way to transition into the good stories that we are going to get to after some bad news that is just being announced. It is official that Mike Leach has been declared passed away here on this Tuesday morning, which is incredible to read out loud and say because of just the quickness of how this story has evolved. We were just talking how he was running practice for his bowl preparation on Saturday morning for Mississippi State, and now we sit here on a Tuesday morning and announce him dead, which is wild to say out loud. We will get back to that sentiment and get back to that story at some point, but our thoughts, our prayers are with the Leach family, the Mississippi State family, and everybody around that. I have really been looking forward to this conversation with our next guest, and he is someone who I have known since he was a youngster. About second or third grade is when I met Keelan Moses. His older brother, of course, Dylan Moses, was the highly notarized recruit that came through University High, and at that time, I was doing the radio calls for University High and got to call every single snap that Dylan took at University from his 9th through junior season before he went to IMG Academy and left as the leading tackler in program history until his record fell this season with Jaden Alsbury and Keylan on that team. And watching Keelan play here as a sophomore is very reminiscent of watching his older brother play during that time period. But I know that it's tough not to live in the moment and not to live in what you see now, but it's tough to say that Keelan might not be a little bit better as he's got a little bit different to his game. I said this going in. I think the highest compliment that you can give somebody in this state that is an athlete is that they are the best athlete in the state of Louisiana. And after watching you play and after watching a lot of high school football, I feel like you are, if not the best, you are the second best in this state. Congratulations on a great start to your young career. How are you, man? Thank you for joining us.
I'm pretty good. I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'm never really nervous on camera, but I'm doing pretty good this morning.
I appreciate it, man. Well, get ready to it because you're about to be on the camera a lot.
Yeah.
Take me through what it was like. And your mother, Tamika, is here, who we want to introduce, and your younger brother, Emmanuel, is here, who is an 8th grader who shook my hand, and I swear to you, his fingers came up to the middle of my forearm. I thought I was shaking Odell Beckham's hand when I grabbed this 8th grader's hand. And we want to talk to them about the process. But what has this early start of this process? You're coming through in a different time of recruitment. Dylan went through a recruiting stage that was very different than the one you're coming up through. What was the start of that like for you?
Honestly, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be because, I've seen it before. So it wasn't that hard. I kind of seen it, so it was pretty easy.
What was your sophomore season like? It seemed like you kind of exploded very early.
Yeah.
What was it like for you?
Honestly, it was just a lead on to my freshman year.
Yeah.
My freshman year was kind of good, but I felt like this was going to be my breakout season to show everybody who I really am. And, we just got our rankings, so, I kind of had that chip on my shoulder to, show people, who the best really is. I feel like I could really show that, so. Absolutely.
Your sophomore class, your entire class is very gifted. When you look around university's football team, you see both sides of the ball have a lot of sophomores contributing.
Like Alec, True, we have a bunch of real nice athletes, and I'm really excited for our senior season. So I think we're going to be pretty good. My class is, really gifted, like you said, so we got some good guys on my side.
Absolutely. What is it like playing with that group kind of coming up? It is very young, but you seem very driven.
Honestly, this year we were young. It took a lot of time to really get together and play as a team. But we did it. We grew as a team, not only as athletes, but as young men.
Yeah.
We grew. So I'm pretty happy about that, and really excited for the next season.
Absolutely. Mom, for you, you and I met in this process, I feel like kind of 7 years ago when Dylan was a very young man going through this. What did you learn then that you kind of already are prepared for as you enter this phase again with your second son?
It's definitely a transition. Anytime you go through something more than once, you learn something.
Sure.
So I think it's easier for Keelan because we saw this before. And I think it'll be easier when Emmanuel comes along because we've done it before.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things is just for Keelan to have fun, to enjoy playing the game, and to be patient. And that's something that Dylan wasn't really able to do at an early age because everything was like a whirlwind. It was brand new when Dylan came along.
Yeah.
So for Keelan, for me, I enjoy watching him have fun. Like when he's out there running around, getting excited, he's having fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoy the most.
What has the University High experience been like for your family? Because it seems like y'all are, when people think of U High football, the Moses come to mind right now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that. I
didn't know that.
I don't think that people understood that Dylan was the leading tackler in the program's history up until this season.
Yeah.
That is, there's a lot of players that have come through that program that have been really, really good. And for him to only play 3 years.
Right.
And have that record.
I think a lot of it is humbling, to hear you say that. We're there to get an education. Of course, football is a second notch to that. So to hear that people look at us that way is humbling. Yeah. And it's a good feeling. But we definitely enjoy being at the University Lab School.
Do you feel that? Do you feel pressure playing?
No. I love pressure. So, like, anybody could tell you. I grew up around pressure, so... Yeah. Pressure is really nothing to me, so I'm grown on it.
When did people stop saying there's Dylan Moses' younger brother?
Never. They still talking about it. And
really?
I feel like when they stop saying that, I've truly won as an athlete. Like, I finally get my own name.
So is that motivation for you?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm not saying I'm tired of it. It's definitely giving me motivation to be better than Dylan. Yeah. Like the best Moses, Yeah. So, honestly, it most definitely gives me more motivation to be the best player in the country.
Absolutely.
So... when they stop saying Dylan Moses' little brother, Keelan Moses, I feel like I've truly won.
How does that hit you when they say that? Do you?
It's interesting because, to be honest, having 3 boys and then having 3 athletic boys is a bit much.
I bet.
But the fact that they compete amongst each other, it's always friendly competition. Even with Dylan being in the position that he was in, being the number 1 player in the country, he's always told Keelan and Emmanuel, the goal is for you to be better. Mm-hmm. And if they're not better than him, we failed. Yeah. They should be in a position to be better because you learn from the one ahead of you. Mm-hmm. And for Keelan, at this point, Keelan's like, I'm the best Moses. But when it comes to Emmanuel, his goal is to be better than both Keelan and Dylan. So I think the pressure would be more on Emmanuel than versus on Keelan.
You know what they say about the youngest, right? Like, he's the fiercest dog because you just get the scraps. Right. Everybody above you's eating. What is your vantage point like, young man? And I know that this is a big stage for you as an 8th grader, and we appreciate you being here. But what has it been like to watch your older brothers kind of go through the success that they're having?
It's been pretty fun because it's like really showing me what I have to do to get to that point and be better than them at the same time.
Yeah. Now I've seen you play, and you are a little bit of a mismatch at the 8th grade level. What is your motivation like right now?
Just to be better than them. Yeah.
What's it like to be an older brother?
Not as challenging because all I gotta do is really beat up on him. But he watches everything I do, so it kind of gets, like a parent, like you feel like a parent kind of, because like he's looking at you and he looks up to you, so you gotta watch how you doing things and make sure he's following the right direction. You gotta be a good leader. Yeah. So it also helps me be a leader, not to only him, just for my teammates and honestly for my family too. Yeah. So yeah.
You are not a surprise anymore. People are going to be ready for you as a junior.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. What are you looking to improve on in between now and then, and what is kind of driving you?
Being a leader for my team. We just lost a senior. He's going to Notre Dame, Jaden Osbury. I got to fill in some big shoes for him. Basically just getting older and being a leader for my team. I'm going to have to fill a big pair of shoes, and that's pretty much the only thing I necessarily have to work on. Besides my speed and coverage and tackling, I feel like I got everything I need to have my best junior season I can.
Do you feel a pressure from LSU? Do you feel a pressure from Alabama?
No, not at all. I mean, they've been recruiting me real hard because, I mean, the Keelan Moses, scenery of it. But, no pressure at all. I mean, they really been recruiting me hard. So, I mean, that's what they do.
How does a player like you watch college football? Do you have a favorite team? Do you look at teams that have holes that you could go in and play at? What is your vantage point of watching teams play?
Honestly, I watch it like a fan, honestly. But I also watch it as, like, I'm out there. Like, let me give you an example. When I was at the LSU and Alabama game, I was in the stands. I was like, I could really be out there. Like, imagine if I was out there. Like, it would be crazy.
Be
like,
out there.
It's gonna be crazy. So I kind of put myself in those athletes' shoes, and I'm like, that could really be me. So like, that's why I was like, she could show you the videos. I was excited. Like, I was screaming, running down the stairs. Like, I was like really into the game, not only as a fan, but like putting my feet like on the soil on the field. Like, I felt like I was out there. So like, that was pretty exciting, going out there, like not even watching LSU games, just Alabama games, Texas A&M, Florida, like going out there on the visits. It's all, I just watch it. I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy watching the game, not only as a fan of the game, but like as a lover of the game. So yeah.
How does the relationships work with you and the coaches? How does that?
As you can see, I'm a pretty good talker. I could talk your head off. So I mean, I could easily talk to a coach as like a friend, a family, or like an athlete. So I mean, my relationship with coaches are pretty well.
Who's leading the recruitment at LSU? There's only one name for this. There's only one
BK.
name. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. That'll work. Bring out the biggest gun first.
That's definitely my guy. Yeah. And I didn't want to say Coach House, because I mean, we just recently lost to his son, so yeah. I'm not gonna throw no shade, but I mean that's family over there. So.
He's a ball player now, Jackson House.
Oh yeah,
man, and that's probably the best game he's ever played in his life against y'all.
Most definitely.
I mean, that was something to see, man. That loss has to motivate you, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did everything I could to help my team.
Yeah,
we did honestly everything we possibly could. And I mean, we just couldn't get the win off. So that definitely motivates me to be, better for next year, be more ready. I mean, I'm definitely getting in the lab. I'm starting this week. I had to cope with the loss. It kind of hit real hard. Because, I mean, we were really planning on going back-to-back. Like, if Dunham wasn't in the way, we was for sure going back-to-back. I'm not going to lie to you.
Ain't no doubt about it.
So, it hurt. I ain't going to lie. I was on the field crying. It hurt. But just be ready next year. Yeah. Most definitely.
You said you were nervous.
I'm getting used to it now. I mean, jitters kind of out of it. So.
Get out of here. You hosting this thing by now. Do you play 7-on-7? Do you play any other sports?
7-on-7. I just recently quit basketball because, I mean, injuries. Before.
What a menace. What a menace on the floor.
I was I was decent at basketball. I just played it for fun, but I had to quit because I had
was your ankle?
Yeah, I fractured my ankle.
Oh no! Get off that floor.
Before my freshman. Before my freshman year, I think. No,
it was during your freshman season.
My freshman season.
Yeah.
So, going into my sophomore season, I was in a boot for football. So going into spring, I was in a boot. And right after we came out of the boot, we had testing and stuff. So I had to run a 40, and you wouldn't guess what I ran.
I'd say 4.5, 4.4.
A 4.4.
Off a bum ankle. I was coming off a bum ankle.
I
was thinking that you were a 4.4 guy.
Yeah,
but off
I
a bum ankle.
4.4.
What is your testing numbers? Have you jumped? Have you ran? What's your...
Last time I really tested was like last summer, so I don't necessarily know.
We ain't got to put those out in public yet.
Yeah.
What is the relationship building like with you and the coaches? Because a lot of them know you by now.
You know what? I enjoy talking to the coaches. The first thing that they say, well, you know this process already. Yeah. So I like the fact that I don't have to worry about coaches telling me what they think I want to hear. They know that I understand what's going on. Even though I don't say a whole lot, I know what scheme my kid should look, what he should look like and what scheme. So I think they enjoy that we can actually have conversations about football and not just, me being their mom.
For sure. Are you a defensive player or an offensive player at the next level?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm just.
Do they know? Has Brian Kelly told you where he would like to play you?
I don't think we had that conversation yet.
Has Saban? No. So, like, people like that haven't said, hey, man, when you get here, we're going to make you this.
No, honestly, they just wait. Like, Coach House, we actually had this conversation. he said he's just waiting on me to like really groom and like get like to the point where things get actually serious, you know, like more like junior, senior season where I finally like have a permanent position. Because right now I'm at running back, linebacker, hybrid linebacker, strong safety, wherever you could think of, like honestly just all over the field. So I don't necessarily have like a permanent position. I'm honestly playing wherever the coach tells me to play.
You run the ball like a defensive player. Like you have a defensive mind. Do you have a love for one side of the ball more than other? Do you like to hit people or you like to give the hit?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he's hitting either way.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, either way, I'm killing the kids. So.
Yeah, you are, bro. I mean,
whoever's in the way. I mean,
it is. It's fun. What do you think his position is? What do you think his best position is?
He probably.
I'll probably say linebacker.
Me too.
What's his best position?
I mean, he can't catch. So, I mean, the best you can do is DB. I mean, you can stop the ball from getting caught.
Look at him just seething over there. He knows when I get to your spot, bro, I'm going to be the number one player in the country. What's school like for you? Where does academics fit into all of this? Because everybody recognizes you as a big, strong dude. What is the school like for you? And what do you love to do away from sports? What do you get away from?
So, first question, school, you know, being an athlete, it could be stressful. It could be, but I'm handling it pretty well. You know, I got to study. We got exams this week, so I've been studying a lot. And honestly, it's been pretty good, to be honest. I mean, sophomore year is not really hard. I'm really looking forward to junior year. That's what everybody's saying is, like, the hard part is. So, school's actually been, like, all right. I mean.
How do you get away from football? How do you get away from all of it?
Honestly, I don't necessarily get away from football. Football is kind of my life. I mean, besides school, I mean, without football, I don't know where I'd be, to be honest with you. I mean, besides football, I like playing video games. I mean, I write poetry. I mean, nobody knows that.
That's the stuff I'm talking about.
Nobody knows anything about that. I have.
When did you start doing that?
I'd say like third grade.
I would say third grade.
Wow.
When teachers really started to realize I had a gift with words and like really expressing myself. Because I mean, when you look at an athlete like me, I mean, all you see is like, dang, this kid's really good. Like the football side of it, you never really look at like, you know, the wordplay or like, you know, like poetry. I mean, you wouldn't have just got that out the sky like this kid writes poetry. No,
never.
Like, I actually do that. I actually enjoy like putting words on paper. You know, it helps me free my mind and, you know, honestly just chill, like keep my composure on things. Because I mean, if I'm not talking to my mom or my brother or really anybody, I write poetry or like I'll be dancing with my mom. Don't tell nobody. I'll be making TikToks. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm not playing video games or anything, I mean, I'm a real creative person. Like I just made a video for you could look on my Instagram. Like I make my own highlight tapes, highlight videos.
What is it? What's the Instagram?
At K3YLANN. I make my own highlight tapes, so I enjoy videography, all that type of stuff. So in my free time, I do a lot of things to get away from football, but it all comes back like full circle. You know, like videography, like football highlights, poetry. I could be writing about football, writing about life.
So you're in love with the game. You love it.
Yeah, I mean, when you grow up around it, I mean,
absolutely.
all you do is fall in love with it.
No doubt about it.
All you can do is fall in love with it. So,
how's my boy? How is Dylan Moses doing?
He's doing pretty good. He's working on his knee, so he's trying to get that back together. I'm thinking maybe next year he'll give it another shot. But his thought process is I'm not going to play hurt, which I can appreciate that.
Well, he did play hurt a lot of his time in college that a lot of people did not know, and he was out there on just doing some things that you shouldn't do with the human body, and he was great at what he did, and he's one of our favorites out of the city of Baton Rouge. And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Great
I appreciate
job,
it. Thank
Mom.
you.
You know, as a parent, I know that's got to be hard, and you do a great job.
You know what? They make it easy. They make it a lot easier.
I bet. Thank y'all for this morning. Best of luck on exams, bro.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it's fun to watch you play.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody can be coming after you. I'll see you, man. Thank y'all. We'll be back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
I remember telling them, hey, listen, my job here is to make sure that we bring, big time football to a small town environment, right? And so you see on movies sometimes about the way a town reacts to the football program and what it means to everybody, and that was the hopes and dreams that I had for the place. And so our kids take a distinct responsibility in wearing that Z on their helmet. It means a lot to them. And then on the flip side of that, our community does a tremendous job of supporting our program, supporting the athletic department, supporting our school as a whole. And there's really a great relationship there that's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Thank you for the access, man. Looking forward to tonight. We'll talk soon.
Coach, wait, before you go, fix your hair again one more time.
Look at him.
Let's go.
Yes. Look at him.
What do you think about that?
Game day,
what do you
baby.
think about that?
Game day. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. Great to see you. Thank you.
You too, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.
All right, man. There he is. There he is. My guy. David Brewerton checking in. What does Harold Perkins do for this defense? What does he allow you guys to do?
Yeah, Perk, man, he's just so raw, man. Like, all he know how to do is make a play. But I love him. He brings a certain type of juice to the defense, and he's right alongside of me on the edge. He knows how to rush the edge. As a young guy, that's very valuable to the defense, being able to rush the edge. Making the quarterback step up. But yeah, they put him everywhere. Middle linebacker, outside rusher. Maybe sometimes he's going to be in a drop. So he's very versatile for our defense.
Question in that game. You're listening to the Jordy Culotta Show live on YouTube. Catch it every day, 7 to 9 a.m., wherever you have internet access.
Oh, my guy, the host of Mac and Cube.
You said you wanted me to close it out.
I listen to his pod every day on WJOX 94. I thought I was going to beat Charlie. I didn't. You were fantastic as always. Have a great call in Missouri. I'll see you soon, man.
Thanks, man. Good
Later.
talking to you, Jordan.
Always. There he is. Cole Kubelik, the absolute best. Don't overthink it, ABC. When you move to a primetime slot in the SEC, is getting that billing, make this man the color commentator. He's the absolute best.
Ooh, I mean, what a pro.
What a pro. Southern Eye Center is located at 6859 Jefferson Highway right here in Baton Rouge, has been serving your eyes for over 40 years in the capital region. They offer friendly service in a helpful environment with the highest level of personal care to manage your eye health and vision needs. If you want more information, log online to southerneyecenters.com. That is southerneyecenters.com. Stop in and check out their beautiful office located on Jefferson Highway right here in the capital city. And remember, each time you walk in there and you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, Dr. Ann Shaw and Southern Eye Centers will take 25% off of their fantastic selection of sunglasses. All you got to do is mention the Jordy Culotta Show. Check them out, southerneyecenters.com, and located at 6859 Jefferson Highway.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date, and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Keylan Buddha, Malik Neighbors.
Miles Frazier.
Kyron Lacy.
Greg Brooks. Whether on the field or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team. Make a difference.
Bet. Let's get it done.
Hey, Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team. Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Shout out to Tamika Murray. Shout out to Emmanuel and Keelan Moses for swinging through here. That was good stuff, man. Thank you for stopping by here on what is exam week, on what I know is a very busy week for them, for hanging out and giving a little bit of a peek behind the process.
Not for Stewie.
Stewie, congratulations, bro.
Graduate champions.
You are a college graduate?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Stewie.
Graduate champions.
Speech. Who'd you like to thank?
Myself.
I'd like to thank my mom, for sure. Because if not, I would not have made it to college.
Well, there you go. Shout out, mom.
Because there was some days where I called my mom and I was like, I'm about to quit. Like, I'm done.
She
And
wouldn't
was
let you.
like, no, you're not quitting.
Good job, Mom.
Shout out to Mom. Shout out to my son. 'Cause this is for you.
Yeah, Stewie, with the serious speech. Good job, buddy.
Stewie.
Congratulations. How long did it take you?
Long enough.
Dr. Stewie?
A lot of people Todd Harris, we tried.
Should I hire you to be our lawyer yet?
I tried to outlive Todd Harris's career.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
A lot of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Or general studies majors.
Yeah.
Stewie, tell them to leave you alone.
Sport
We're all
admin.
good. Yeah, right. All right, speaking of guys that we feel sorry for about their college days, Kyle Caskey, Texas A&M Aggie, as the
Scoreboard.
Ags head to the offseason here. Still looking for an offensive coordinator. Bobby Petrino's name being kicked around.
I heard that.
Good God.
You just need to get a motorcycle, coach.
Is he going to coach with the neck brace on?
That Sugar Bowl hat?
Keep the motorcycles away.
Don't y'all forget.
We're that Sugar Bowl now.
Kyle Caskey is here, our coach, as we got a version of Caskey's Clickers coming up. We'll have a lot of Joey B and the Bengals. But before we get there, Coach, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
I hope all is well. Keelan Moses just walked through here. You were a running backs coach in the league for a while. You've seen some of the great ones. Adrian Peterson, you coached up close. You drafted Jeremy Hill out of LSU. Keelan Moses is probably one of the state's top running back now going into his junior season after Trey Holly and that group are on their way to college and Caleb Jackson. What do you? I know you've seen him play a little bit.
Yeah, I watched a little of his film. I think it was before they played Dunham, and he's a heck of a player, man. I mean, I didn't realize until I just met him how big he is. I mean, you see those guys on the field, and you're like, man, these guys are. I mean, he's 6'2", like what do you say, 215, and I made the comment on talking to him on the way out. I was like, hey, man. Be humble, keep working. And
Great coaching there, Caskey.
And then I turn around and I go, dude, you look like Todd Gurley.
Have a great day.
See you. Look like one of the best
Keep your head.
Ever do it.
Hey, keep working.
Don't listen to what everybody tells you, son.
You Todd Gurley.
I mean, I'm telling you, but his entire his physique, everything about him. I mean, he's Todd Gurley. I remember when I first met Todd Gurley, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This guy's this big. Like, I thought Joe Mixon was big when we drafted him. Todd Gurley, like, you make dwarfs like Joe Mixon. And that kid's going to be.
Joe Mixon.
Yeah, that kid's 15 years old. I mean, he's still got another growth spurt left.
If he grows anymore, he's going to have
to go back to basketball.
He's going to have to go to defense. I would think that'd be his best shot. Y'all asked him what he was. And if you're going to be another 20 pounds heavier, I mean, you might as well go over on defense and make your money as an outside linebacker with the length that kid's got.
Yeah. I mean,
you ever heard of Harold Perkins?
Yeah,
seriously.
Pass rushing is a premium in the league.
I mean, those guys get paid. Think of your Von Millers and things. I mean, those guys get paid a lot of money. Running backs get paid well if you make your second contract.
Mm-hmm.
These pass rushers get paid well 2, 3, 4 contracts in, and sometimes, they get traded and get re-upped on different. There's just different things that happen to those kind of guys. Running backs don't necessarily have that luxury as much because. Everybody thinks that, and I don't necessarily agree with it because I think a great running back is hard to find. But the league officials, the owners, the GMs, they all think running backs are a dime a dozen.
Right.
And I don't agree with that. But again, you can get by in games with, average running backs. But if you get a great one, I mean, Zeke Elliott, he's had great years and kind of down years and stuff, but the guy's kind of consistently always been at the top of the league, and those kind of guys are hard to find that stay there, So, if this kid looks like that in 2 years and they throw him out at running back, I'm telling you, ain't nobody gonna want to tackle that.
No, I mean, good. Move. Yeah, right. I mean, high school
coach.
I don't mean.
I just had an algebra.
Trying to get to the party after this, man.
And I'll bring this up. I know Alabama's not a big. Good topic around here, but if you look at those Bama backs that they had, Henry, Scarborough, I mean that guy fits
Drake.
the mold of those kind of guys.
Jacobs,
yeah. I mean, and Derrick Henry, obviously, he is that guy. Yeah, and I honestly didn't think he was going to be that guy when he first came in the league.
Wow, what was the deal?
I just thought he was too big and clunky.
Yeah, and
ran too straight up, right?
And
because he got popped on Sunday.
Yeah,
somebody popped him on Sunday.
Somebody caught a body.
Somebody caught him.
He gets popped a lot.
Yeah.
But here's
he
the thing:
stands straight up, right? But he just gets right back up.
But he's
so big.
When he gets in the open field, it's funny because he doesn't look fast. He's
but he's running away.
I brought this up about somebody else, but Michael Johnson, the sprinter. You remember ever watching Michael Johnson back in the day, and he'd run that 400, and it wouldn't look like he was moving, but then he'd win by 5 lengths or whatever. It's like, he was moving. His legs were so damn long that it was like, but
eating up ground.
He's eating up ground, and then I was impressed with that guy. That's the first time I'd seen him in person. I saw him on film, and I'm telling you, on film, I think it's the U-high colors too. That dark color, it doesn't. You don't see people don't look as big in those dark colors.
Sure.
If you're all wearing all white or like those cowboy color pants or something, you look big. Because it shows out. But if you're if you're wearing those darker colors, it just doesn't show as much. But man,
he looked big, coach.
Speaking of the dark unis, the Bengals were wearing the blacks on Sunday, and they won their 5th in a row. And here comes Joey B and the boys as they look like they're gearing up for the playoffs. He was on the Manning cast last night. He was not as good on the Manning cast as you would have liked, but it told me that he's locked in. And he's ready to roll.
I think Joe Burrow is a special type of personality that he knows what he's doing.
I agree, Coach.
He knew what he was doing when he went on there.
He's trying to. That's the brand he wants to build.
And it's funny because if you watch some of their go pull up Bengals on Twitter or go to their website or something and look at his press conferences, and he is just so matter of fact, and he's always wearing some goofy shirt with cartoon characters
That's
on
called
it.
swag, Coach.
You know, I know, but it's like he just doesn't care. I mean, he goes in there. He goes,
Had a little hickey
I'm
on
Joe
his
Burrow.
neck.
You still have Cincinnati connections.
Yeah, I got.
I mean, like past the love affair of he's the best quarterback that LSU and that Cincinnati probably has ever had. What do people feel about him? I mean, I know that that people are obsessed with him, but like the people that know him, what's the?
No, I think they follow him. Like if you're one of the players on that team, there's certain there's guys you want to follow. Jamar Chase, he's still going to be a leader. Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, all those guys. But when this guy says something on the field or wherever, it doesn't matter. People better listen to him because he's number one. I really honestly believe he's the kind of guy that if you're not doing what you're supposed to do in practice and everything,
he'll run you out.
He will not give you the ball.
Yeah.
He just will not. I promise you that. Because if you watch what he's done, I've got it here, the stuff he did when Chase was out. And the guys that came in, Trenton Irwin, Trent Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know who those guys are?
Absolutely. Trent Taylor's from Evangel.
Okay. So there you go. So y'all know who he is. The people in Cincinnati had no clue who he was.
I know who Trent Irwin is, too.
Yeah.
Stanford coach.
So
no gloves.
These two dudes just show up out of nowhere. Hayden Hurst gets hurt.
Who was that big tight end that caught the touchdown Sunday?
I can't
Number
think
16?
No, 16 is Irwin. That's Trenton Irwin.
Okay.
No, but so they got another guy, Wilcox, that just came out of nowhere, and he's making play. And my point is this: is that kind of guy who's playing quarterback makes them better.
You were in the league when Breeze was with the Saints when he was in his prime.
Oh yeah.
He feels like he could give a PSA for the state of Ohio and everybody would vote that way like Breeze was here.
Oh, yeah.
He also feels like whoever you plug and play. I mean, remember the NFC Championship, the Nola no call? They had a tight end that caught a touchdown. Number 45,
Is it Josh Hill?
No, it was not Josh Hill.
The guy with this
it
Celtic
was,
tattoo?
It was something, it was a weird name, but it was a lot like that. Whoever you plug and play, they're going to make them a name for you.
And it doesn't. And again, it doesn't matter. And the crazy thing is so when Burrow was out a couple years ago, it was the exact opposite. They could not get anything going with the guys. They beat Pittsburgh one time with Brandon Allen on a Monday night, I think, late in the season. But I mean, other than that, it was one of those things where it was just like you could tell when Burrow came back last year, and just all of a sudden started going. That's why they went to the Super Bowl. I mean. They went to the Super Bowl because that guy has turned that program. It's not the play calling is okay, is getting better, and I think they're starting to create stuff for him as opposed to trying to force like that McVay style offense on him. But I think they're doing some things with him. But I mean, they won the game against Kansas City, which I got here in a little while it was a 3rd and 11, and they ran a slant flat combination. Mm-hmm. They ran a slant flat. You don't run slant flats to get 11 yards. And he held that ball, and hit that thing to Higgins. And, like, there was 8 people converging right there. And
there were hands coming in, there were bodies. Let's get to it. Caskey's clicker.
And I'll tell you one other thing.
Brought to you by Citizens Bank and Trust.
If you did put his name on the ballot in Ohio for anything, governor,
100%.
senator, anything, he'd win.
Breeze went through a 5-6 year stretch where whatever he said, whatever he promoted, whatever he would have done, people would have followed him to the trough and drank whatever it was.
No doubt.
Sliders.
Absolutely.
Jim Jones.
So the first thing I got
the diamond
to
was
start
fake.
with,
I didn't know it. Give me my money back. Here, Bruce. Take it. Here's $6 million. Take it back.
As a jeweler, that's not how that works.
So I kind of got this.
All sales are final.
I kind of got today broken into 3 categories, and we're going to look at the Burrow and the Bengals without Chase. So there was a 3-game. There was a 3-game 4-week stretch where they had a bye in there where they didn't have Chase. So what did Burrow do to help it? Now the Carolina game, Joe Mixon ran for 200 yards and had 280 yards total offense and 5 touchdowns and stuff. So there wasn't a whole lot from the Carolina game, but there's a few things. So I just want to talk through some 3rd downs. So this is 3rd and 2. Now I want you to watch, see what they're doing, how they motion down. And when they motion down, Katie, this is a good one for you. When they motion down,
here we go.
And the guy follows him down in there. Mm-hmm. Now I want you to watch Tyler Boyd down here, 83. He's going to run across. Somebody else runs across with him. What does that mean? It's
there you
man
go.
coverage.
Hey.
Did I say that loud enough?
Oh,
She passed her first test.
Graduate champions.
Now, I do want to say while we're talking about this play, because obviously this play, God bless the Leach family. Prayers for them. That guy was a unique soul, and I hate that we lost that guy. And thoughts, prayers out
It
to
is
them.
sad.
But
Very
this
sad.
is so going forward. This is that mesh concept. You know, we always talked about with that how they're going to run those guys underneath like this, and all you're trying to do is get these guys to kind of go over the top or pick them off. And right here, I mean, really, they just kind of got all miscombobulated in here, and all this was 3rd and 2. So catch the ball, first down. It's simple stuff. Now, if this would have been zone, okay, this is where people got to understand this mesh concept. If this wasn't man, you see how he's sitting over the ball right here?
That's the right.
That's the guy. Bam. If nobody would have run across with either one of those receivers, he would have just sat there. Burrow would have and just popped it right on that guy sitting over the ball. So there's reads in there that he's doing, and he's getting them quick. They're doing a good job of the motions and creating different things. Now, if you look here, really there's 6 guys looking like they're pressuring, and they do a good job of picking it up. Their offensive line has gotten tremendously better, and I think that's a big reason why Burrow is kind of thriving.
It was a horrible blitz by 98 just now.
Go to the you just go to this again. This is man coverage again. And this is another pressure by Pittsburgh. When I say pressure, there's five guys. They have 5 guys pressuring. There's more than 4 because, but if you see everybody else is playing man, you got a single high safety, and all you're doing here. T. Higgins is just running here. He just kind of gave a little stair step, and then he's going to come on this little mid cross. Just hang in there, throw it. 3rd and 4, big play.
I miss him so much.
Miss you.
Boom. And it's simple. It's simple stuff. And what was the man indicator on this one? There wasn't emotion. There wasn't any of that. It was
Bengals all whites.
Tight end was the only guy over on this side. So if there's a safety and all the corners have gone to the other side, that's how the quarterback knows. Plus the linebacker walked out on the running back. So there's tips that they're giving them, and it's simple stuff. None of this stuff is just what is it? Is it brain science and rocket surgery?
Rocket science.
Rocket surgery and brain science.
Brain surgery.
Hot take. I think the Bengals all whites are overrated. Carry on.
Hot take. I don't think brain surgery is that hard.
Brain surgery is not that hard.
I love the all whites. They're my favorite.
I mean, Dahmer was doing.
Keep going, Coach. My bad. I didn't mean to clutter the train.
So all this is a little pivot route right here, and you see that they're dropping into like a I don't know what you want to call this, a tricky 2. Okay, so this is like a so they're
showing 3.
This guy's going to be here. They're going to go back, and everybody else is going to drop into like a Tampa 2 look. But when it's all said and done, they're in Tampa drop, and all he does is there's your cloud defender. There's really your hook curl defender, but he sits right in between this, and you send this guy past him, and he hits this again. This was 3rd and 5. Boom, first down. So again, some of this stuff is simple stuff as can be. All right, so this is what we're going to call. I'm going to call it a stomp because that's what we called it. Okay, I don't know what else somebody else is going to call this, but when he motioned the running back out, you saw this guy leave. So again, it's what, Katie?
Man coverage.
It's man coverage. Good. See, we have made so much progress this year. What you're going to see here is you're going to see this is really it's like what we call a now or a troll. A troll would be a slant under control. I don't know why trolls go under everything. They live under bridges, so they go under everything. I don't know where the term came from, but that's how we always do.
Got to pay the troll toll to get to the boys.
All Evans is doing, he's running he's going to run at this guy, and really he wants to either make him go over the top or trail behind him. If he trails behind him, and he goes like that, then you get this guy and he can run. But what he does is he ends up doing this right here, and all he's doing is trying to get in the way. Now this is probably illegal. What happens here? It doesn't get called. So does that make it? If it doesn't get called, it's legal, right?
Absolutely.
So you see how he actually hits him right.
Wow,
there.
that's a bad no call. I mean,
but again, you see your man. You see your man tip. You like that, don't you, Katie?
New term.
Oh, Lloyd just lost half the stuff over here.
You're learning too. We're all teaching each other.
How many moments do y'all have like this in meetings?
A lot. Way too
there's
many.
gotta be like, I mean, jeez.
If you go into an offensive line room,
Good
anywhere, go into
Lord,
any
there
offense.
has to be so many like.
Go into any offensive line room. And
That's what she said.
I have a
Fine,
note.
Culotta.
I have a note somewhere, and it's like, you got to get your hands on his chest, and you got to turn him until he comes out of the way, and all this. I'm like, dude, y'all got to chill on what y'all are saying in here, man.
Look at these big gaping holes.
Like, you gotta come.
Penetrate.
Yeah, right. We gotta hit it, boys.
But so
Ball protection.
So that was actually my number one job as a running back coach, was ball protection.
Right. Oh yeah, gotcha. Hey.
So as you can see, again, what they're doing is they're finding man zone,
5 points of
and boom, those are easy plays. And that's what I'm trying to say is like that they're doing anything crazy. And again, this is just a little spot route. You'll see here, he's just really sitting right here, and he's running like a little Omaha or quick out. He's just running to sit right here. Again, this is 3rd and 4, I believe, right here. But they're playing Tampa 2 again, and all they're doing is they're just giving up. And that's the kind of the sweet spot of Tampa coverage, because the reason that it's called Tampa 2 is there's what you might call a Tampa dropper, that he's a middle guy that goes in between the two deep guys, and he's playing that, but it opens this area right here, and it's voided kind of in the middle. So you'll see this right here. So they get set, and they all drop out, and
boom, pick you apart.
And just picks you apart. You see how this guy kind of ran. He was trying to run out, and this guy's getting too much depth, and it's just simple stuff. So that was it's another look there. And again, these are guys y'all haven't seen Chase out there yet. So the whole point of this is it's simple stuff they're doing. And again, right here, this is just a scramble, and I want you to watch who gets this ball. When it's all said and done, sorry, there we go. Hayden Hurst again.
There we go. Go play baseball.
So here's the running back. Running back just ran like what we would call a Texas or a follow route, because this guy's running a shallow. It's like a Texas route or a follow route. So they're trying to create some separation here and try to hit this guy or whatever it is. But you could tell they're also trying to run what some may call a double post with a deep out on it or a bench. But if you watch this, Joe Burrow's right here. There's the running back. He gets lost and makes a play. He falls down. Hey, guess what? In the NFL, you can get up. It is simple. It's simple stuff. But again, if you're Joe Burrow, now what are they playing here?
That was pretty heady to keep himself behind the line right there, right? I mean, because I think you see that if you go back to that angle that you were just playing, it looked like he could have kept it.
Joe Burrow runs.
No. But look. Here's the thing. Remember what I told you about the best way to block man defenders is run them off.
Yeah.
Well, he's in scramble drill, and again, look. But yeah, I think this guy, maybe Bud Dupree, maybe could make a play down the field. I'm talking about down the field, but there, yeah, he probably could have run and gotten that.
Mm-hmm.
Just feeling himself.
I mean, how many quarterbacks in the league do run that play?
I'd say a majority of them.
Right.
I'd say a high majority.
Just
of them.
because of confidence in that position, right?
And here's hold on, I lost my spot here. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is called this is like another version of a rub route. Okay, so what we're doing here is he's going to run in here like he's rubbing, so that you think he's going to do this, like he's going to come in here. Now watch, they don't see how they don't pass it off.
Oh, wow.
Now I want you to watch what he does. This is actually pretty cool what he does. What Tyler Boyd does.
Yeah,
he comes back in. It's a rubber turn. Sorry, my thing's getting a little sticky on me.
No.
So he's going to come in here, but he's going to run out like this, and he's going to return. He's going to return back in. But see, this guy goes over the top.
Sure. What?
When this guy goes over the top, that guy's in that guy covering this guy right here covering Tyler Boyd is in a pickle here because
he sees his back, gets whipped back. Oh, wow! That is smart play by Boyd, huh?
He does that and comes right back in. Now watch what happened with this is called what I call double hole. Okay,
are you serious? You do not.
I'm serious. So if you have a linebacker that drops, if you're playing man coverage and a linebacker drops in this area, he's kind of eyeing crossers and looking for different things and playing off the quarterback's eyes. This is the hole. So you're playing off a hole. Now what they're doing,
cover one hole.
They're gonna drop these two guys and both these ends are going to drop into that hole area. It's really going to be a 3-man rush when it's all done.
Drawn sperm.
And so right here, it's really see how it's really ends up being a 3-man rush, and these guys are going to drop out, and he hits it right over that guy's
Do you think
head.
you saw him?
I'd be willing to bet you he probably had a feeling.
Or he anticipated it, right?
I think they know. You watch these guys enough to know what their MO is. So if you notice, there's no back in the backfield. The back's over here. So when you get these double A looks like this and they stay in the A gap, so who's covering this guy if it's man coverage? You know, right now, nobody, one of these guys would probably run out with him if it was. So right now there's something isn't right.
Up.
Something's up. So, here he goes.
Oh,
so he went late. He went late. Okay, so man coverage. Now, you just kind of got to keep your eye. If you got your eyes there, you kind of see it, but he put it perfectly on him. I mean, now again, you might get your guy blasted right there, and then
you get hit that hard. You got hit.
Okay, do y'all know? Again, I want to point something out. Do y'all know who? Do y'all know who Trenton Irwin is?
Yeah.
Trenton Irwin,
Stanford,
Stanford, right? Now watch. Look at where he threw that ball. That ball's right there.
Feel the tree.
Now again, we talk about this all the time with Burrow and Chase being able to do this, but Burrow's throwing these things to Trenton Irwin and people like this, and you're sitting here going, how does he get the timing with this? Do y'all know who Travion Williams is?
I do not.
Travion Williams did he play
from
at
the Texas A&M University?
Devin White stripped him like.
But
4
that's
times.
him right here.
There you go.
So that's him.
Year.
So that's him in the backfield right there. And again, this is a game that they were out mixing. I think P. Ryan might have been out at this point in this game. But look at where he throws that ball. I mean, that's amazing where he's able to do that with guys that
Are as ugly
don't
as that
usually
man
play.
is.
Now
He's
I've
the
got
ugliest person of all time.
Now
I'm
I
sorry.
have some TD passes that they did
It's not nice.
without chasing the game. So point being here, Joe Mixon's down here, so it's empty. Now this is against Carolina. This play is crazy to me because of where he throws this ball. But if you look, so he scrambles. Okay, so at this point, Mixon's here.
Wow.
He's going to actually kind of work his way over. He's going to run back at the sideline like that, and so he kind of comes back right. He's going to throw this ball like on a line right here, and from the end zone, it's pretty amazing when you see him throw this ball that Burrow somehow anticipated, or Joe Mixon just said, "Oh crap, I see him throwing the ball over there," and made a play. But again, you look here, so he scrambles. He's throwing the ball right here. All right, Joe Mixon's somewhere behind the subscribe button. He's falling down.
Oh, wow.
And he makes the play, that touchdown. And it's amazing this kid is doing that. And so and this is not a
the balls on this dude.
This is not like a session where I'm trying to get Lloyd really excited, but there's a lot of good stuff here.
It's Burrow Bukaki.
Now one of the things that
hadn't even got to Jamar yet.
No.
We haven't even gotten to Jamar yet. So
2 holes.
We're talking about P. Ryan, Samaje P. Ryan. Did y'all know he was
Florida, Oklahoma.
Him and Mixon played together in college.
Oklahoma.
They were together in college when they played together in the NFL.
Schemed them up, coach.
And P. Ryan is actually you got to remember who played at Oklahoma? Adrian Peterson, Joe Mixon, who was the other running back?
DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray. Yeah. So those guys, think about the names that have been running backs. Samaje P. Ryan's the all-time leading rusher at Oklahoma.
What?
He also, for a while, held the all-time single game rushing record of like 450 yards or something.
He went bananas in one game.
Was that Kansas State?
I don't remember who it was, but this guy has a lot more to him than people think. So they're running a little slow screen. So all this means is it's a little halfback screen going to come here. He's going to run him up the field. They're going to pass off. He's going to go block. They're going to pass off. He's going to come block. But here's the thing. I mean, it's just like they're doing simple stuff. Pittsburgh gets out of position. And one of the things about screens, we always tell them to run down the sidewalk, which is the numbers here. So draw like a line down the numbers, and that's a sidewalk. And Samaje P. Ryan runs right down the sidewalk until he has to make a move, and then just walks in the end zone.
Walking his dog.
And again, you know who gets a 35-yard touchdown pass for that? Joe Burrow. He gets a 35-yard touchdown pass. So if you're looking at that's why I always say watch the game before you look at if you look at the stat book and you see that he had all these. How were they? You know, and again, I'm not saying that's not Joe Burrow set that play up, but again, here's all this is a swing pass. So this is 4x1. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're kind of all running in here, and then he's just going to run a swing here. So it's when I say 4x1, there's 3 guys, and then the 4th guy's to the same side, and there's just one dude up top. So if you look here, so they're all running the snag 7, you know, crosser type of thing. So
conflict.
But what they did was, you're putting this guy in conflict, and you've got Samaje Perine catching this. You would think that would be a tackle, right? Get off me. And gets in. And so point being, he's thrown a scramble. He's thrown a screen. He's thrown a swing pass. Okay, so let's get to the next one. This one's actually pretty cool. So we talk about the man rubs, you know, and I know everybody loves those. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna run what this is here. This is just they're trying to get Tyler Boyd to the flat. So they're gonna try to run him down in here, try to get Tyler Boyd to the flat. Well, the problem they got on this play, these 2 guys don't switch off, or they switch off. They don't stay with their guy. So when that happens, you always tell these receivers that, hey, you have a route built into this. You know, it ends up being a flat and like a kind of a push in corner, like a rub corner. Well, they don't pass it off. Well, watch, this is Irwin again at the very top.
Heady player.
And so he runs in. They don't pass it off. So he keeps going to the flat, keep it alive. He pushes up, comes over here, and hey, touchdown pass, Trenton Irwin.
Damn.
But again, that goes to you were talking about a minute ago, what guys around Burrow, they better be right.
Yeah.
And you better know that if they pass it off, you better know, hey, I still got to run my corner route because
Burrow gets you.
Burrow's going to get it to you,
and he'll get you run.
Yeah.
You know, like you're done. I mean,
he will get you run out of there probably. I'm assuming.
And he probably brought him in.
Now I want to say this is the same game, same exact game, same spot on the field. This is going to be another swing route right here. Again, we talk about
NFL football. Can't stop it.
You talk about like,
I mean,
have I described a play right now that is see they're really he's kind of doing the same thing. He's kind of they're running in here for this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You know, they're trying to they're both running. You see how they're both running those little spot routes.
What is he doing?
So
the defender, he's about to fall.
I'm done.
So, but it's simple stuff. He's running the pick. He's going to run in the pick, but then they're both just going to sit in those little spots.
Whoop.
So if for some reason he doesn't get it to him, you just pop it here or whatever it is. But watch this. I mean, this kid just runs in the end zone.
He rides him in. Huh?
Again, I got one more.
Nutty.
I got one more. Now this one's 100% on Burrow and all the work he does with these receivers. So y'all know who T. Higgins is, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, so T. Higgins is up here. So you're out chase. You've got T. Higgins playing that single receiver side. And we saw the one to Trenton Irwin a minute ago. Watch this one.
Oh.
I mean,
is that on Christian Fulton? Please don't be on Christian.
I think that's the rookie.
No, Fulton's down here. I think
Fulton's got the sleeves.
Oh, is that him down here? So, but if you look, see how he's turned and he's running. So they're told right now, listen, if he's on top of you, if he's on this side of you as you're running down,
turn around.
He's going to throw it behind you. If for some reason you had him beat and it was opposite and you had him stacked and you had beat him, then you throw it over the top. So there's so much time and energy put into these things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just becomes basketball on grass, right? Just post him up.
Yeah, just post him up. And if you watch this right here, I mean, it's simple play, little fake play action, and
post up and go get the rebound, coach.
He didn't turn around and didn't push off, nothing. He just turns around, catches it.
He's on a poster.
Touchdown. So
is he the best back shoulder thrower in the league?
He's
Aaron
one of
Rodgers
them.
got to be.
He's one of them. I say Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has shown more, but this guy has done it. Can you kick me off for a second here? So?
Tua does it pretty good.
Because he can't throw
real
it more
quick,
than 15 yards.
You have been inside of a ton of offensive rooms. You know a lot of offensive minds. How many times has Mike Leach's name come up?
Quite a few, because there's.
What did Mike Leach do for football? What was his contribution?
Well, him and Hal Mummy created the air raid system, which obviously is a very simple. We looked at it. It's a simple, proven system that if you can incorporate a run game with it, which they've done in Mississippi State, you can be really, really efficient with it because it's not hard. And your guys don't have to learn a lot. And in all reality, they can play fast, but yet it's so vertically challenging on the field. Like you're challenging the defense in so many ways, but not doing a lot. You always saw he had the little sheet.
It was like 11 plays, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have much. And then if he wanted to call something else, he just
he just worded up.
All right, here we go.
Well, no. Do you remember when Mason Smith came in, the guy that used to coach for LSU, did a lot of recruiting? He worked for Coach Leach as well, and he would say, "I have 15 plays. If you want to add one, you have to take one out. Show me one that's better."
Yeah.
And that's how Mike Leach coached. He was just like, "I have my 15, and we can do a million things off of it. But these are my principles. If you think there's a better play, I'll take it out."
I think the thing that bothers me, and I say bothers me, I'm heartbroken about it, is as coaches, you look at them and they're larger than life. They're almost invincible figures, and for him to just be gone. I mean, within 2 weeks of the last game he coached.
He was coaching Saturday morning.
Yes. And you talk about him being gone and just how quick it happened. I think one of the things too that people forget about him is the person he was. And I know everybody goes to that tech thing and putting the guy, in the shed or whatever, but I think that there was a lot of overblown on that too.
He deserved it.
But if you look at everything else the guy's done and the personality he brought to football,
oh man,
there are too many coaches out there, and I'll say there are too many coaches that don't have fun coaching football. And this guy to me looked like, yeah, he was kind of frumpy looking all the time. But the stuff he said, you knew he was having fun. I mean, when you walk off the field and you're making, and you give a speech about marriages and getting married or whatever it was he did, I mean, you know right then he's having fun.
I mean, Coach, he was taking pictures of the stands and his team was fighting. They're in a full-blown brawl.
I wish more people would have his
outlook.
His love for the game.
His love for the game, his outlook on the game. I've never said I model myself after anybody, but I would say, I do like the way he just
didn't give a rip.
He lived his life. He lived life, and you could tell. I can tell you this. He's gone, but if you go, you can Google and see speeches and talks by this guy and press conferences, and you'll be watching it for days.
Yeah, you will.
For days, and you won't get bored. And I don't know. I just think that's what he brought. I think he brought there was a different vibe. There was a different vibe.
The man has a law degree, and he's coaching football.
Yeah.
Like he just got it to get one.
They put him in Friday Night Lights.
I heard him talking. I heard something last night. He was giving a speech about student loans and stuff, and he was like,
him and Han.
He said, I was in my second year at Texas Tech before I paid off my student loans. And I'm like, you got to think about everything he went through before he got to Texas Tech. And he said he had collectors coming, and he's like, if y'all really want your money, then make the payment smaller, because I don't have the money to pay you right now.
Quit asking,
Like, you want to come at me? Put me in jail. Yeah. Like, it's like, there's stuff like that. But I think when you talk about the game of football, the spread attacks you see now are so much influenced by that, because they were. I hate to say people are the first to do it, but he was the first to do it mainstream.
Yeah, absolutely.
I looked up an interview from Jeremy Schaap on ESPN in 2019.
Poor Jeremy Schaap.
And he asked him, when people write the Mike Leach obituary, how do you want to be remembered? And he said, well, that's their problem. What do I care? I'm dead.
Jeremy Schaap trying to get like a real answer. Like, he's such like an introspective reporter. He's like,
whatever, man, I'm dead.
Yeah, but put you in a pretzel.
Well, it's a sad day for football. It's a sad day in and around sports because of what Coach just talked about the personality that we lost and the love, and somebody who spread the love of the game like Mike Leach did. I referenced an interview that we did with him years ago, back in 2015, and you could feel it on that just chat with, two people that he had never met, never knew, but we were talking football, and that was kind of the common thread that we had, and you could hear his love for all of that coming through, and all of the topics that were covered, and just how open and cool that he was. He was just a cool, accessible figure in a world that we look at people through what feels like an aquarium. It feels like we look at these people and you don't really know them. You can't really reach out and hear what they have to say. And Mike Leach was different in that world. And I think he'll be missed for that, just because of how real he was. I think he was always genuine in a very, what could be perceived, fraudulent world of people trying to put on and show you that they're one way when they're really behind closed doors another. And Mike Leach was Mike Leach 24 hours a day, and you had to appreciate that. And it's crazy that we are, celebrating his life now that he's gone, and that was announced officially this morning. So, as we've done all morning long, there's no easy way to talk in and out of that, but we will always remember Coach Leach and our thoughts with the Mississippi State community. And we will sign off and come right back. Coach Caskey will have his extended cut of Caskey's Clicker, some more Joey B in Cincinnati,
Jamar
and
Chase shows up.
This will feature
Yes.
Jamar Chase. So if you thought the earlier session was raunchy, wait till we get to the second session here coming up. We'll be back with more Caskey's Clicker right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. As always, Caskey's Clicker presented by Citizen Bank and Trust. Donaldsonville Glass and Body, the trusted name in frame, body, and automotive paint repair since 1977. They have served their customers for over 45 years. You can find them online at dgbauto.com or stop in and see them Railroad Avenue and Division Street out in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Look, they can help you with your insurance claims. They can make the repair process as stress-free as possible. I'm speaking from experience here. I've got numerous windshields, body repair, all done by Kenny and the crew over at Donaldsonville Glass and Body. They are, without question, the most well-equipped shop in the area. Stop in and see them today. Shop them online, dgbauto.com, or stop in and see the crew over in Division Street in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Hey fellas, it's Jordy Culotta for my friends over at Men's Total Health. Guys, do you suffer from fatigue, decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, weight gain or loss of muscle mass, signs of depression and anxiety, hair loss, mental fog, general loss of interest? Then you might be suffering from low testosterone. Go see my friend Mike Roach and his great team over at Men's Total Health, over in Metairie at menstotalhealth.net online. And stop in and see how they can change your life today. A simple shot and some knowledge from Mike Roach can get you back up, moving with your energy, get your sex drive back, build your muscle mass, make you feel young again. All online, menstotalhealth.net. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz. I was embarrassed about my smile. Are you unhappy at yours? Do you not smile back at yourself? I called my friend, Dr. Spillers, over at Johnson Spillers. He fixed my smile, and now everywhere I go, people are complimenting it after the work that Dr. Spillers and the staff did to my mouth. They can do it to yours. Get in touch with them. JohnsonSpillers.com. 2 locations, one in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easy to find them, JohnsonSpillers.com.
Looking to book a dumpster but no idea how? We've made it quick and easy for you. Check out our website at moralesrolloffs.com. Let Morales Roll-Offs know your desired delivery date, and finally, provide your contact details. To make payment, look out for an email invoice with all your booking details. On delivery day, our driver will notify you through text and email that your dumpster is ready and on the way. Now you know how easy and convenient it is. Call Morales Roll-Offs at 225-427-0000 for your dumpster.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
Don't let the name fool you. Men's Total Health has offerings for the ladies, too. Guys, is your wife or partner suffering from urinary incontinence, low sexual desire, or pain during sex? Then the O-Shot might be for her. Don't let it scare you. It's totally natural. It's PRP. And Mike Roach and the crew at Men's Total Health will make you as comfortable as you can be. Contact me for more information, Katie at JordyCulottaShow.com, and I'm happy to tell you everything that Men's Total Health has to offer for the ladies.
Welcome back. Caskey's Clicker. What we're going to do today is a little different. That wasn't really like the teaser on the big show with Jordy. This is more of I'm going to keep flowing. So we talked about everything that Burrow did in the 3 games without Chase. So they're on a 5-game win streak. So Chase came back 2 games ago. And the point I want to make as we're watching this is he was forced to use everybody on the field when Chase was out. But if you go watch the way he's doing it since Chase came back, there's no forcing it to Chase. He's still reading it out, and Chase is still getting those things. But I want you to watch here in a little while. I've got a little cut up of just some catches he has, but I want to talk about the third downs. So kick me up here, Stewie, and we'll be ready to go. I want you to watch what they're doing here because I want you to find.
Damn, everybody's got a shirt on.
Yeah.
See, I take my shirt off purposely right there just to be on.
Yeah,
the film.
Caskey told us to be warned about that. Now I want to go sit there.
Yeah.
So here's Chase here. So we're talking about like just simple spot routes. So you see, is this man or zone?
Zone.
It's zone. So you know that there's going to be holes in the zone somewhere. Now I want you to look. That right there is a receiver. Okay, so they're doing things that are a little different.
They did this in 2019.
And that's a little different.
LSU.
And I'm sorry this wasn't a receiver. I'm a playoff. I'm a playoff. I'm sorry. But this is a check down here. Because I'm sorry. Apparently my
Are you out of sync?
My thing's out of sync. But hey, we still talk about it. But point being, here we go. But if you talk about what they're doing, he knows it's zone right here. So as he runs across. He could probably hit this guy, but again,
Willie Gay lurking.
You're talking about that guy lurking right there. Well, he comes out, just pops it down to his check down. Now that's one of the things everybody talks about. Le'Veon Bell when he was at Pittsburgh and all those things and how great a receiver he was. That's why he was a good receiver. Ben Roethlisberger was dumping it to him because he didn't want to get hit. And he's just dumping it off to the running back. He gets all these receiving yards, and everybody thinks he's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, if you look here, all right. So we're looking at
going to the bathroom.
There we go. There's Boyd in the backfield. So Boyd's in the backfield. So Boyd runs out of the backfield. Now 50 walks out. Okay. So 50 walks out. 50's a linebacker. Do you think 50's covering Tyler Boyd?
No, this is zone.
It's zone again, right?
Got a little bump out.
So again, you're looking here, and all this is just a little spot route by Chase right here. And this is 3rd and 2. And they can dunk it down. Simple stuff. Nothing. That right there to me, you put Tyler Boyd in the backfield, so it gives you your man zone tip right there.
Your identifier.
And you know right now, okay, we got some form of zone. Well, here's Chase. Boom, stops. And you can see he starts to run this way because, hell, Chase
I got to go.
And you'll see that here in a little while with a lot of this off coverage that Chase is getting. You can just throw him hitches all day.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. Obviously, it seems like the Bengals have kind of found another gear. It feels like Burrow has been taking over not only in like goal line situations where they're putting the ball in his hands, but like 3rd and shorts that are run downs where they're like just they're trusting him to make the right read in every sense of the word.
But that's where Burrow I think is growing with the NFL style of reading defenses. He can now
I'm going to take what you give me.
Take what you give me. Again, 3rd and 7. Okay, so 3rd and 7, you're in the red zone.
A little bluff
now,
pressure.
watch. So this is called an M route. Don't ask me why it's called M. Maybe it's because it looks like an M. I don't know. But he's going to run basically right down the inside edge of the numbers. If you're playing Tampa 2, which they are, you see how there's kind of a space right there on the numbers? A lot of the check downs to backs versus Tampa 2, if you know that they've got a ton of that, you create these pass routes with a check down for the back to go right down the inside edge of the numbers, and you hit him on the run right here. And you see how he caught it on the run? Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing for that, is for him to catch this on the run and not to catch it standing here and then have to restart. So he's taught to come down the inside edge of the numbers and do that. So all this is a check down. Again, this is 3rd and 7 in the red zone versus Kansas City. And you get the ball to your running back, for one, who obviously goes and gets the first down. Simple things that are happening, beat it out, and you'll be fine. And that's where I think a lot of these NFL teams, as you start watching film, get a little
too cute,
off kilter with what they're doing.
And before you go to the next one,
yep.
How much have they? Obviously, Tampa 2 is like super in vogue now this year, it feels like, and Kansas City would be the staple because they've seen it so much, and it forced Mahomes to kind of change the way he plays a little bit.
Yeah.
It feels like Burrow knows. I mean, he obviously has Kansas City's number. I think he's 3-0 against Mahomes.
Yeah.
Is it just a case of like, I know exactly, no matter how many ways you want to show me what you're not, like bluff Tampa 2, it feels like he knows it's what they're in.
Well, also they had just played Tennessee, who does the same stuff. And I think you can kind of carry over from week to week. And one of the ironic things is early in the year, because I cover the Bengals a little bit up there in Cincinnati on the radio, they were all worried about Burrow can't beat cover 2. Like literally, it was like a whole 3-week thing. They play cover 2, he can't beat it. We can't beat cover 2. And like now he's just tearing it apart because he's, like you said,
he's adjusted,
given what they're taking. And
well, because they were so terrified of him taking the whole shot against with Jamar Chase. They're like, oh, he likes to go deep, like he likes the one-on-one matchups. And cover 2, you can find that little hole in the zone, like if you want to throw it up. But this has made him much more efficient as a quarterback.
Yeah. So if you look right here, they're playing like a form of brackets. So they're in and out and right here on Tyler Boyd, and they're also kind of in and out and over here on Chase. So they're basically doubling him, and they're doubling him. They're man up out here. But watch what Tyler Boyd does. He runs in at this guy, gets him to stop his feet, and then just kind of pops right back here. And again, you just got to get to the 9-yard line. Catches it, turns, gets to the 9-yard line, conversion. So again, some of the stuff they're doing is like
he's nickel and diming.
It's just keep going down the field, keep going down the field, and it really is simple stuff. Now, when you look at just even simpler stuff, I mean, I'm talking about simple stuff. How about a bubble pass to Chase? All right, block here.
Install.
Again, look, they're doubling him again. If you look, see, they're doubling Chase.
They got 4 for 3.
Now, what I want you to watch Chase do. Watch when he catches this ball. Do y'all think he? I mean, honestly, like just in reality, it's NFL football. Do you think he has a chance?
In real life,
I'm looking at this going no.
Oh, I'm quitting the game. I'm throwing the Xbox out the window.
He threw his shoulder down and runs through a guy. This is a guy who just came off of a bum hip. You know what I'm saying? So they've got the players, but not only do they have the players, but it's the way they're playing. And if you look, it's just So again, simple things. Now, this right here might be.
It feels like they woke up from the hangover a little bit.
This right here is going to be one of the plays I think people are going to remember for a long time if you're a Bengals fan. It's simple stuff. Tyler Boyd's going to go in motion here. He's going to run the flat. This guy's going to chip and run over the ball. This is 3rd, all right, and 11 to win the game. They convert 3rd and 11. They're gonna get, they're done. So they got to get to here, okay? So point being, them having to get to there, do you think you're going to run a slant route to get to there? Probably not, but they did. So they motioned Tyler Boyd over. I want you to watch Joe Burrow hold this ball as long as he needs to. He gets blasted on this play, holds this ball as long as he needs to. It's a 3-step play. Just remember, this is a 3-step drop. Hold it. And then look, I want you to look. See where that guy's standing? That ball goes but right behind his head, and he catches that right there. And he's running in here. They're all running. There's a lot of bodies about to converge right there. He completes that, first down, game's over. And watch this from the end zone.
Look at Jamar. They know.
Yeah, but watch this from the end zone, and I'm going to try to. I mean, look at the window he had to throw that through, and that ball's going to about right there.
Six wants to hurt himself right now. He's like, damn, I could have just.
And again, so those are. But that was 3rd and 11 to win the game, and it was easy. It was slant flats. It was
simple.
And that's why I think Zach Taylor maybe caught some flack early on because his concepts were so simple. But now it feels like he knew he had the dudes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? Yeah, I'm trying to get my playmakers the ball quick."
So speaking of just simple plays, this is a 4x1. He's going to end up running here. It's a drive concept. I believe he's going to run here. He's running here, and then he's running there, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a drive concept. So you have a shallow cross and a basic. But you're 4x1, so you've got 4 receivers to the top here. So you got to, you're kind of forcing the defense to kind of overshift. But you can see there's the shallow, the basics coming here, and then he just ran a corner here, but he's running here. So you're trying to high-low that.
Mm-hmm.
But all he did right here, he threw it and hit that spot right there. Because remember I said earlier about the zone, I was like, there's a hole, there's kind of a hole in zone that's kind of over the ball with that mesh route earlier. I was talking about a guy sitting over the ball when they're playing zone. Well, they're playing zone, and a lot of times, when you've got this kind of look where we've got a quarters look here, and there's a hole almost over the ball every time. And they kind of had 2 guys in between there, but I'm assuming that Irwin must have thought the guy running the shallow must have thought it was scramble drill at that point. He stopped a little too soon. You're really supposed to stop over where the tight end was. But you can see right there, I mean, he's falling down.
I mean,
that's the most impressive thing about this is Joe Burrow is getting tackled right here. So he's got his foot right there. He's actually going down. I think they might have got called for holding here, but point being is the play, the Burrow play, the stuff that they're doing with their guys. Talking about 3rd and 10, this is what you would call these are just chip flats. Okay, so it's 3rd and 10, so they got to get to here. They're going to run like what you might call a bench route like this, but this guy's going to run what I call a missile. So if he runs up here, say it stays wide open in the middle here. Now let me let it kind of play. So you see how this guy's in the middle of the field. So this guy right here is reading that guy. If they were playing cover 2, he was going to run and take the middle. If he stays in the middle, he's going to run past his first level and sit. And we called this a missile. That's what we called it. But see how he finds that hole, and he just sits right there. And really, it's just simple stuff. Again, and then look what you do. You break a tackle. This is Trent Taylor from Evangel, right?
Coach.
Is this Evangel?
Yep. Mm-hmm. He went to La Tech.
There's a Louisiana guy.
He's the one that cuts the backflip in victory formation.
I'm almost.
I'm
almost positive he has the record for most receiving yards in a season at La Tech.
But look at how open he can get when you just find those holes in the zone, break a tackle, and he's I guarantee you right now, I don't know if he's had a play like this in the NFL yet, but look at him looking around. He's like,
oh my God,
am I really doing this?
Like, yeah, it's like a quarterback in the open field.
I would probably think the same thing. Like, oh, here we go.
Jordy compared him to Drew Brees. I think this more looks like the Patriots offense and Tom Brady with, and you have Edelman and just a bunch of guys that are able to make plays. They're all on the same page.
Yeah, I think that's the bit. But Brees had those guys on the same
for
page
sure.
too.
But it just feels like it's very similar. I think that's where he plug and play. Yeah,
I feel like that's where he was going. I don't think Burrow and Brees are 2 different players. But
yeah.
Burrow, to me, I do believe commands when you look at him commanding the field, he commands the field. Now, this is just a scramble, and watch this little dump-off pass. So he just goes and he's like, oh, crap, so I'm going to scramble. Well, he's got to get to here. Now, I don't think he's going to be able to run and get this one. But watch, he runs hard enough to where it puts this guy in a dilemma. Do I go take the quarterback, or do I still cover this guy? So what happens is he takes the quarterback, and he just shovels it down. And that's an awareness.
I was about to say that.
It's just an awareness of where you're at. Right here, you're running out here. It's an awareness that, okay,
he
this guy
himself out.
This guy takes me, so I'm going to run. And then, give it to you, first down. Again, Trenton Irwin. And then
you're just out there, coach.
Dude, just playing ball. And again, it's just playing ball. This guy's fun to watch. I mean, I'm sure y'all would love to have him back at LSU for another year.
I mean, hey, we'll take it.
I mean, look at but it's everything that we saw. But him being able to do it at the NFL level, it's crazy to say, but he's gotten better.
He has gotten better. Okay, so now we're going to move into touchdowns. These are the touchdowns since Chase has been back. Okay, so all this is a quick, just little double slant here, but I want you to watch what T. Higgins does. See, it's just double slant. He catches this ball right here. Great. It's 3rd and 8. Remember that. It's 3rd and 8. So really, all they're trying to do is get the first down so they can have 1st and goal. But he scores. And again, what was the play? Double slant, 3-step. Watch how long these guys have to protect. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody talks about their offensive line and what they can't do. Well,
do you think teams will start I'm not gonna say slow the pass rush, but you know what I mean? Like when they know
almost mush rush and drop.
When they know teams are throwing quick, they'll like kind of slow their rushes and get their hands up.
I think so. And actually, they knocked down 2 screen passes. Cleveland did this past weekend because of that. But I want you to look at this. So here's Chase in the backfield. Okay, here's Evans, the running back. But I want you to watch. Just as this breaks, I want you to watch how fast they're getting lined up. See how they're getting lined up real fast. Mm-hmm. These guys don't have any clue what's going on. Well, they're playing man coverage, number one, when it's all said and done, or brackets, one of the two. But what's going to happen is you see look, he's pointing at Chase. You see him pointing.
Tell him.
He's pointing at Chase. I want you to watch who covers the back. Watch who covers the back.
Nobody. Who's got the running back? Oh, shit. He's not in the backfield.
So,
they're going too fast.
But what caused that? What caused that?
Quick game, but knowing what we're doing.
Chase in the backfield. Chase in the backfield, running back at receiver, plus getting set as quick as they did, and boom. And then you just all you're doing is running a little shallow cross route.
Is that because they set up the bracket to where Chase goes? So it's like
a lot of times,
now,
yes.
So it's like now, like we don't have a bracket, so shit. Like,
well, a lot of times it's like okay, well we were gonna bracket him. Well, he's in the backfield, and again, if they were just playing straight man coverage, if you watch these guys, they're vertical releasing. They're actually trying to do the rub for the back, but they're like as they run through there, they're kind of like, oh, okay, we got 4 guys covering 2 up there, and nobody covering the back.
You're an offensive guy, coach. We don't call it a rub. We call that a clear out.
It's
clear. And a lot of what a little bit of what Joe Burrow does well. It's the subtle nuances of him finding green grass for himself to be able to create time to be able to make that throw. Right. Like he was kind of bailing out, but keeping his eyes downfield. Like. It's the subtle things that he's learning in the game that is making
he's manipulating the defense. Now, I want you to talk about manipulating the defense. I don't think he gave 2 shits about anything on this one.
He does have that in him, too.
Skinny post, okay?
Just sociopath.
Playing man, so he's going to be outside leverage on him, knowing he has help right here. I'm telling you, there's 28 of the 32 quarterbacks that would not throw this ball.
And you coached one of them that would.
And watch. Right here.
Whole shot.
You know he's running the post, and there's a dude standing right there. And then if y'all saw the TV copy of this, Chase didn't know that ball was on him. Like right there. There's the ball. That's the ball. There's Chase. And it's like, oh, I got it. I mean, to throw that pass, and again, watch when he throws this ball. Try to pause it.
No.
You've got that safety standing right there who could easily break, and that's possible pick six. You know what I'm saying? And he said, screw it. Bam. Put it right on his back hip, right away from 43. And to me, that's where you're getting.
Oh, this is the copy I wanted to see.
But that's where you're getting.
The camaraderie.
Yeah. He knew right there. Like, if you look, he's just now looking.
Safety's too far off, too.
And the ball's right there. And it's just, I mean.
And it's also the new version of the NFL where I can't decapitate you.
Correct. And I think 43 probably had that in his mind, to be honest with you. A lot of these guys they're getting that in their mind. There was a hit last night in the Monday night game, and because like right there, honestly, if 43 lowers his shoulder and just blows Chase up, he might not catch that.
Well, and we're not running it again.
And anyway, but there's that. That's a touchdown.
Instead, you get gritted on.
Yeah. So this is not a touchdown. This is not even a pass. Okay, but I want to show you this play. All this is duo. So they're doubling here. Up to here, they're doubling here, up to here, here.
Boy, everybody loves that duo play.
And this safety is run support. Okay, so I just want to make a point of this. So that he's going to slide in, he's going to go here, but I want you to watch this safety on this run right here, because I'm setting something up. So this is how you set up plays. You've run enough of these to where you go, okay, that safety's going to bite down and do that. So what you're going to see on this next play, just keep that in mind, what that safety just did, how he played down.
In next.
So keep in mind this next play. Now the formation is flipped, okay? Formation is flipped. It's the same exact blocking. Now they're not going to go downfield. All right, but he's going to run at this safety and then take off like he's blocking him. Joe's going to come down. Now, the biggest part of this is that he actually handed the ball off. Look at the safety. Look at the safety right there. Safety's not even looking at this guy. And there he goes. And that's about as open of a flea flicker as you're ever going to see.
Grant looked over his head like,
I didn't know that they called a flea flicker there. I'm going to be pretty proud of myself now. I'm
but
dialing them up over here.
Here's the thing. Let's just say you just did like a little play action. Let's just say you did a play action. I don't think this guy. That's Grant Delpit, right? Mm-hmm. Not trying to kill on y'all's guys.
Well,
here,
I'm sure Burrow knows about Grant Delpit too.
So what?
Inside scouting.
So you hand it off right the second he hands it off. See him take off the second he handed it off.
Oh, wow! Well,
got me.
Pretend like I'm doing something else.
So that's why. So that's how they set.
Go tackle
so that's how they set these plays up. Now I've got 7 more plays, and this is more for you two here, so that y'all can watch Chase. Y'all can watch Chase for a little while.
Real quick on that, is that something that comes from like the booth? Whenever they saw the duo concept and saw him come up so hard in run support, they're like, we could probably hit him with a flea flicker.
I think if you watch, number one, you watch yourself and you see how many times have you done that play. And are they practicing it? And then you go and you look and you find somebody else that's done it. And how are the safeties playing it? Here's the thing. If they wouldn't have been in that quarters look, they probably would have checked out of it and just ran the ball. Mm-hmm. So you have 34 duo flea flicker, 34 duo. You know what I'm saying? So like if they don't give you the exact look you want, then
kill.
Then you throw your hands out or you hit your head or whatever. And you just go. And you run the run. You run the run, you live with it. But if they give you the look you want, go.
Let's go, boys. 6.
All right, so here's some plays by Chase. Now, again, this is just – I just want you to watch it's the vertical sell by him. And, again, this is tight man coverage right here, okay? So that guy's playing tight on him. Now, this is a bench route, but he's going to – see how he inside releases. He's coming here, and he wants to go here. But see how he's on his back hip? Watch what he does. He gets to the top. He kind of lets him run by. And this is that whole – kind of swipe by, and you get open, but is that legal? People are going to say, is that legal? Did it get called? No, but no, really, right there, as long as you don't throw him, if you're just trying to get your arms around him past it, then you're good. It's
right, and he's hurdling people out there. He's superhuman.
So, but if you see that, so that's another thing. That's the tight man coverage. Again. Just time made the play. This next one is kind of so these teams have been running this tricky 2 where they're bluffing out and playing cover 2. And again, these aren't third downs or touchdowns; these are just plays. But if you were to look at this play pre-snap, okay, so he runs back in. Nobody ran with him, so right now it's some form of zone. That's why you do that. That's why if you ever see tight ends out here and they run in, or a back is out here and he runs back, they're seeing if somebody's covering him initially. And if nobody runs back in with them, if they just bump down like they're doing, it's zone. So right here, would you say would either of y'all say this is going to be cover 2 right now?
No, you can't.
I would say absolutely not. But here's the thing that you got to look at.
But you can look at the depth of the corners.
Roll, yeah.
These corners, something isn't right. There's nobody in the middle here. So what they're going to do, they're going to actually run these guys out to the half. This guy's going to run back to this Tampa player. And then this guy's going to run out to that flat player. So what's going to happen is, again,
it's just such a complicated version of a way to do it.
So when it all said and done, Tampa 2.
Mm-hmm.
See, and then this guy's got to get out here. But watch, see how Chase takes off and he realizes, hey, there's like a void here.
Stop.
So watch him slow down, and just kind of wait, and then Burrow sees it and drops it to him. So again, that's a timing aspect of that you don't necessarily.
Not a lot of people can do
So he
that.
canned it right there. So he knew it was probably a man zone deal, and he knew right there, hey, I'm getting zone. I'm going to throw this little honey hole shot. That's what we call it, a little honey hole right
Jamar's
there.
trying to score every time he touches it.
Oh, no doubt.
Like,
It's a bad kid.
he's just trying to score.
So, but there's a lot of games being played. Now, again, if you're going to play Chase and you're going to give him off coverage, okay?
You're going to get back shouldered.
So,
God, he's just nervous.
He's trying to get out of there, man. He's
Fighting for my life over here.
But watch it. But if you know you're going to get off coverage, and I don't care if this guy's playing out to him. If you're giving off coverage to Jamar Chase because you're worried about him beating you deep, and that's why people are going to play off coverage on him because they don't want to get beat deep. Just throw him the little lightning route, the little 9-stop right there, or a hitch. Just throw that to him and then let him
3
run.
yards.
But watch him when he catches the ball. This is what Chase does well is when he catches the ball, takes off. See how he's already moving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know people are going to say, "Well, catch the ball first." Well, he knows he's got room. So see how he's
flowing back.
He's already got that, and Burrow's putting that ball in that place for him.
Take a screen.
And it's really all it is. It's an unblocked screen. But again, that's 15-yard play. This next play is what I would call.
Oh no, it's still him. 21 is just bailing.
No, here we go. So I was on the wrong play. So this is just a CO route. So when I say CO, it's what we call it a Carney Omaha, and it's pretty simple route concept. But this guy's running. Sorry, I had the out of backwards. This guy's running here, and he's running this Omaha. Now I want you to look at the angle. He's already thrown the ball.
Yeah.
I want you to look at the angle of where this guy is. This ball actually goes right over the top of this guy, and that's a ballsy throw because again, that ball gets caught. You're going the other way. And instead you get a first down. But it's just, to me, that's like you're taking chances. You really are. Like and I'm saying they're calculated chances because I think he thought I'm going to throw this ball where Jamar can get it high or not at all. So he got it right over the top of him, and that he thought, okay, this guy's not going to catch it, but worst case scenario is I overthrow him, and at least we're on to the next play.
And that's kind of what I was saying is they're putting so much of it on Burrow to be that.
Yeah.
Like whenever you throw in those situations where it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 3, you know what kind of the chances you're going to take because they know that you're trying to go short as well. So you have to trust your quarterback implicitly.
Now off coverage again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what he's going to do? He's running here. He's going to run 18 yards. He's going to get all the way to the 15-yard line up there roughly, and he's going to kind of come back. But I want you to watch the speed in which he takes this vertical part of this is what wins this play right here. Okay, so this guy right here is scared to death. I don't know who that guy is. Maybe he's not. Is that Jimmy Ward?
I don't even.
Is it?
So
Wow.
but watch.
Denzel
See, look at
Ward.
him. He's Denzel Ward. But see, and then boom, he just comes right back out, and simple stuff. It's a play action. So you're still getting the suck right there just enough. So if let's say you didn't get that, you still had him in the flat. You still had him over the ball. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get it done. But I mean, the guy's going to be bailing out of there. Give it to him. Just give your guy the ball. And I think that's where we were talking about. Giving what they're taking what they're giving you, and it's gotten to a point where I think he used to want to hit that play every time.
Mm-hmm. And that's what he was terrified of. Is like I don't want to get beat over the top because I don't really have safety help.
And so we got a couple more here. Again, we talked about the back shoulders he's thrown to the other guys. Now this is where the back shoulder with Burrow became very
problematic if you're not a Bengals fan.
Popular by these guys. But see how he's playing over the top. He's over the top of him. So instead he's not going to try to throw this ball over here with that guy playing with that leverage. He's going to let this guy keep running and then throw this ball right behind him. And Chase knows when Chase takes off, because everybody goes, well, how do you know to throw that? Well, that's what he's looking at. Number one, they're both looking at the same thing. He knows he's got man on him. And he's saying, okay, is he on top of me or is he behind me? Where is he at in relation? And then if he's in front of me, I'm going to turn back and catch it behind me, and vice versa. So simple stuff. But again, I mean, special players make the simple things look special, And
Denzel Ward talked a lot of shit before this season too about Jamar Chase and his matchup.
Now I'm gonna end on this one. This will be the last one. We're all human, right?
Yeah,
we're all human.
Sometimes
Joe's not. I still don't know what happened on this play, but you're gonna see this. This is a reverse, and he's gonna come out and he's gonna toss it to him right here. Everybody's downfield blocking. This is not a pass, okay? But somehow or another, like three guys are running directly at Jamar Chase. And I think Jamar Chase said, screw this. I'm going to make him think I'm throwing it and then maybe take off.
Playing backyard football.
I mean, that's all it is. So like right here, he's like, oh man.
Oh my.
I'm not in good.
I'm in a bad spot.
I'm in bad headspace right here. So he literally, watch him. He literally like stops. First off, this ain't a pass. So anybody, it's not a pass.
Who's thinking like this?
We got him.
This is not a pass. Now, even
Burrow,
look at these two. They're like,
what are you doing,
They're
bro?
like, dude, what? Look, he's like, I think Burrow's like kind of like, okay, just I'll back up. You throw it back to me. I don't know. But this was not. I can tell y'all, Bengals fans were like, oh man, Chase was going to throw the ball. Chase, I'm just telling you, if that's a pass, then the entire offensive line did not know it was a pass. and these two guys blocking over here had no idea this was a pass. But anyway, this was just but everybody's human. And
that's a great idea, though. I mean, I'm in a bad spot. I got 3-on-1. Maybe I can show somebody.
Yeah. So here's the crazy thing.
Or throw it.
I'm pretty sure that this, because of the way it ended up, if he would have just run the ball, it'd been TFL. But I think because he
faked the pass.
I think he got a sack. I think Myles Garrett got a sack on this play.
He tried to hit him with the little little fake quarterback.
But I just want to make a point. Like everybody's human, all right. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool that he actually
awesome.
He actually goes.
To have the mental
he's like, you know what?
Shit.
Here we go. He ain't
64.
74
is open, coach.
Throw it to 73. He's there.
Open, coach.
Dude, Jamar's just like, I'm in trouble.
Anyway, you can kick me off, Stewie. So
that's awesome.
That was actually a fun little.
But it shows how good they're like.
It was a fun little project right there because they're probably one of the hottest teams in the league right now. Plus, it's LSU, huge connection here. Man, I'll tell you, it is funny though, but that a lot of the stuff you saw from the third downs with Chase and the touchdowns with Chase weren't all to Chase. That's why I went back and got some of the stuff he's been doing because he still has been a force in what they're doing. But it's like
they almost had to evolve a little bit because he wasn't there.
They had to learn how to win without
But you also saw where Kansas City was still
bracketing.
Yeah, they were still doubling him and that takes it away from somebody else because you got to remember it's the Aaron Donald problem, the DJ Reader problem for Cincinnati. If you got a big dude in the middle that can take up
space
linemen, it opens up your edge guys to rush, or it causes you to have to stay on the double teams longer in the runs and the linebackers come free or whatever the case is. That's what happens when you got a great receiver is you may lose him half the game because he's being doubled and taken away, but somebody else is open or somebody else has a chance to be open, put it that way. So,
okay, I was just making sure I had the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Future Lloyd had to make sure I had
Future Lloyd is back, baby. He's
back. Well, anyway, I appreciate you.
Caleb Williams to win the Heisman.
For real?
Catch that ticket.
Look at you.
Let's go.
Hey, you said we did talk about this before the season. Smart guy.
Yeah. Do it for a living.
Real quick, Citizens Bank and Trust, appreciate y'all for sponsoring the clicker.
Y'all gonna have to cut a check.
Yeah. So we
sound like road. Cut that check, baby.
We will. My plan is next week is to kind of dive into some of the Philadelphia Eagles stuff.
Oh.
Because I don't mean people don't really watch much of them. Unless you're in Philly, but then all of a sudden you see their scores and you're like, dude, what are they doing?
AJ Brown,
4th and 11.
I mean, he's
AJ
throwing
Brown twice.
Jalen Hurts is throwing some balls, kind of like Burrow's throwing, where it's like, oh man, your confidence level's pretty high right now. You're kind of putting them in some precarious locations, but they're making the plays.
Yeah,
confidence.
So, I mean, you got 3 first-round picks at receiver,
and
Rieger, Devontae, and
Rieger's he's in.
Oh yeah.
Minnesota.
Special teams coach loves him.
Yeah.
Well. But I'm actually a little curious to see if you want to do any maybe throw the 49ers in there because I think what they're doing is pretty special with Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, and they just keep balling. Like Kyle Shanahan's offense is a scheme that people can't seem to figure out. It's kind of like a little bit with what Burrow's doing it's all that Tampa 2 shell thing where it's like, well, we'll just run it.
It's the run game, but it's also the play action game off of the run game, which is it's for a rookie quarterback, that's easy. You know, the run game's your best friend. If you're a struggling quarterback or a new quarterback, your run game is your best friend. If you can get a run game, then it's your best friend.
Yeah, hey, look, you got Christian McCaffrey back here.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to him.
And Debo.
Not as hard as we think. How did Baker do what he did, coming in on Tuesday and playing on Thursday?
I think the biggest thing that was tough with what he did wasn't necessarily learning the plays. It was learning the protection adjustments that they had to have. And he really didn't get hit all that much. But the thing is, like, I think Sean McVay did a good job of a lot of stuff they did was like early install stuff. So it wasn't like he was trying to put too much in.
Yeah, it's just different. Plan. It's just different verbiage.
Like the play they won on, the very last play of the game, it was 4 verts.
That was what I was
well, that was just that was
somebody
just
won.
dumb.
And at 4 verts, they were pressed. And
we going single high whenever the only thing you can't do is give up a touchdown. Yeah, like
so they
take a shot.
So they did. You know, I don't think they did anything that was overly complicated, but I think the biggest thing was the fact that he came in and understood the protections and the adjustments, because a lot of times that stuff's the hardest part, because you get into those third down blitzes that people bring, and I haven't watched Las Vegas's defense that much.
Just don't do it with the Washington football team, then you're okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's the only one that'll get you in trouble.
So, well, I appreciate you guys being here, and we will see y'all next time. Caskey's Clicker. Appreciate y'all.
Out. Do you think that